Hello, everybody. We are back again. Another episode of the Beat and Greet. Episode 20. An even number. I love it. If it's divisible by 10, count me in. So, today, big guest. All right? A little bit different than what we're used to, but I like it. It's still in the realm because the man produces. He's an all-around talented musician. All right? So, if you don't know him from his main project, Quaz, then maybe you'll know him from his production, Yes Man. Maybe you know him from hanging out in the park and fucking jamming with the Sudanese dudes. You know, maybe you get to know him. If not, you're gonna know today. The man's a goddamn force to be reckoned with. All right, so let's bring him out here. Let me stop gassing him up back there. Craig, how you doing? Let's go. Here we go. Okay.
More gain. More gain.
More gain. It's always more gain, you know? I'm sure, you being a touring musician, you must be missing the sound check version of every night right about now, or is that something you don't miss about what's going on?
I miss like the routine, you know? The
Okay.
routine is that's the thing that's sort of um it's the most structured that my life has ever been.
Yeah. And I
You
mean,
know what I mean?
being a musician, you kind of think that there's not a lot of structure to that, and I think you kind of get pigeonholed into oh, you're a musician, oh, you're lazy or whatever, but it's kind of the structure that needs to be in place to not only like show up to the gigs and set up and do all that kind of monotonous shit, but like sit down and learn the stuff, sit down and fucking put it on yourself to just do the same thing 100 times to learn that one lick. Like, it's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
it's both. It's both. We are kind of lazy, for certain things we're kind of like, right. But for most things we work harder for than everybody else. It's more like it's very specific to our skills, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that well, I guess once the structure, it's like being in the military or something. It's like when you're on tour all the time, and the structure is imposed on you, and then that's what you do. And you wake up, you're gonna be in a different city, and you get off the bus. You have your band, your bus call time. You have your sound check time. All that stuff, and like that's the structure, and like that's what I'm used to. So it's been interesting, kind of completely deprogramming. This is by far the longest, and I haven't been on the road.
Dude, you
So
you guys have always been like the tour model too. Like whenever I seen a tour poster released, it was like, holy fuck, they're getting 7 days a week. If there was 8 days, there would be 8 shows. Like you guys were nonstop always. So is it
yeah,
weird to be taking a break?
at this point, it's weird, yeah. On like something like early on, it was when what we were talking about was, uh, we all of us probably needed a break anyway, but
Yeah,
we never could because it's like you got to keep your foot on the gas.
yeah,
It's kind of the way that's the way it is. You got to keep your foot on the gas and keep going. And if you're um, and especially when you're a big band, you know what I mean. We kind of were hoping that we could just kind of and all of us, we all like doing it. We all like the music, and we all are close with each other and stuff. Which is that's, I think we're pretty lucky in that regard. That we all, even years and years into it, still get along and everything. But we were all pretty exhausted. But now that it's not around, we're just like, what the fuck?
yeah. So I mean, like, is it? I mean, I'm sure it's just as much a necessity. You guys got to eat and stuff like that. But going forward, is it going to be like you guys knowing in the back of your head maybe you could take a break for like a month or two and not have the full pedal to the wall? I mean, maybe it's because the whole industry took a step back. But like, do you think going forward, are you going to be hitting the road just as hard, or are you guys going to like savor the time off maybe?
I mean, I think we're all gonna enjoy our time off and hopefully work on a lot of skills that because how many times have you thought about like when things are going, 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 and then and you're thinking, if I just had a little time, I could do this.
Yeah,
If I just had time, I could do this. So now that is what time is. You know what I mean? But it's
yeah,
just like then it's on you to actually make the best of it. I imagine when we come back, we're gonna be just like rare and ready to go. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely. No, I think
can't really-
everyone's fiending for the live shows, but I mean, are you guys finding other ways? Like, how have you kind of supplemented your time and your creative input? You know?
well, I mean, yeah. First, it's like I guess, yeah. I mean, I've been I've been a producer in some sense or another for a long time, but I've been, DJing for the past, obviously, like I got my start playing music and stuff, but you really kind of helped me start the beginning of my kind of DJ career. Because I remember I had a long talk with you about sort of technology and everything, and I was using Ableton when I started, and every step along the way, I'm always kind of asking you for advice, which I've always appreciated. But I've started doing that, and then obviously the whole thing, when you start. I have a question for you actually. When you started DJing, were you playing original music from the beginning?
Nah, I kind of, you know what? That was something that like we got into an argument about right in the beginning too, because this person that I played a show with, there was some technical difficulties, man, and I feel like they were trying to get me off the stage as quick as possible, But one of the things that like this guy's girlfriend was yelling, the next guy at least plays his own music, And I was like, fuck. And I had like 3 songs at the time, but I mean, I played as much as I could, but even now I try to supplement other people's music too.
I mean, that's what I talk to people about when, I mean, it's like, does anybody really think their shit is so dope and profound that it beats all recorded hit music in history? You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. I'm like, yeah, I mean, my shit's good for sure. Like I'm stoked on it, and it's the vibe. Like the idea is like cultivating the vibe, but I think at the beginning it's just like, uh, it's just like when you first start being a band, you play cover songs, right?
Yeah.
That's how you figure out what you want, and then as you're, you know, getting further into your career as a DJ, like that's what you do. You find the music that you like, that kind of is the vibe that you want, and then there's like a gap where I'm like, well, I really like this and this and this, but like it's not really hitting the way that I want, and like that's your music. You know what I mean? But it
Yeah.
takes a long time to get there and learn how to get the skills to do that, and it's kind of like that's why we're in this weird phase now. So to answer the long answer to your question, it's like yeah, I've been trying to produce music this whole time, and I've been DJing, and um, on top of just like playing guitar and then doing like other like human being stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, but I've been working on a record and just trying to be creative every day. And that it's been a luxury in some ways to be able to finally have this time to, get better, to improve my skills as a producer and just kind of have time to be creative. I mean, that's one of those things. I used to be like, man, if I just had some time, I could just work on it.
Yeah. So I mean, you've always kind of like done the DJ thing on the side too, but is this the Twitch thing helped? Has like that helped maybe expose some new people to it too, or just helped you
Oh,
maybe?
so wait, does anybody that watches does anybody like house music that likes this that watches this thing, or is it all bass people?
No, we've had people from Italy fucking put in some house music too, and it blew the whole chat away. So I mean, it's diverse. It gets diverse. We have a hip hop, so I think everything. So
Yeah. So when I first started, like this is one of the things I want to talk about with you, because I'd be kind of interested about your experience. When I first started, I was on just doing it on Facebook and just have sort of my my natural ecosystem of fans from Turkuaz and people I've met in my own or whatever, and it was great, man. We had sometimes 20,000 people watching the streams, and I was getting Venmo donations, and I was like, this is gonna be easy, you know what I mean? Like no problem. And then of course like the copyright stuff started happening, very intensely. I guess they decided now is like the best time to crack down on everything.
yeah,
Um, yeah, but so then I switched over to Twitch, and that's kind of starting from zero. You know what I mean? And it's like unless you really, this is why I'm very happy to be here, and hopefully people will check out my stuff and check out my SoundCloud and go through my old Twitch videos. I think they keep them up for like a month or something like that.
sir.
So
Yeah, I got all the links right here too. I put the command right there. That
all
should,
right.
That should link everybody. I think all those links are working.
Very cool. And yeah, I've been trying to put up SoundCloud mixes of all the full streams and stuff like that as much as I
The
can.
Twitch isn't on there. God damn. All right. I linked the Twitch. But
So
it's
yeah.
yeah, I can link it right now. Twitch.tv/DJ, and then it was underscore, right?
I'm an underscore guy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, DJ.
Yeah.
Yes, man. I'm pretty sure that was it. Wait, what the fuck? It just showed up as a goddamn.
Oh, is it a curse?
I don't know.
Is it a
The hell?
curse?
It
Is
showed
it
up in
like
my chat. That's weird. But hey, he has it on his Instagram. Yes, man. Just use that for Twitch too.
yeah, same
But
thing.
same thing.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but that's I mean, maybe I don't know what your experience has been, but trying to maybe it depends on like sort of the subculture, maybe a little bit of for me it was trying to get people to like, hey, can you get a Twitch account or like need an account, but you have to go to this other link and it won't pipe in on Facebook. Like it's a little bit of a struggle getting
Yeah.
people to come over. And, I'd say that the numbers are significantly lower, but I do notice that the people that are on are more committed. Like they will watch for a while, whereas like on Facebook maybe it was like much more casual people, or that thing where you're like, oh, I didn't mean to click on that, and then you're like on it, and
Yeah.
that's a new or whatever.
No,
But
it's like a give take. It's do you want to dedicate your time to a whole nother platform too? Because I don't know if you're familiar with Twitch as well, and like it starts from gaming, and they have all these
right,
gaming stars, but now they're even facing some trouble and getting kicked off the platform and deplatform. It's almost like the same thing that was going on with all the free speech and Facebook ads and Twitter shit. So like people are getting deplatformed off Twitch after they've built, like you said, something from scratch, and it's
right.
almost like seeing that it's a little bit demotivating. You
I
know?
mean, fuck yeah, yeah, I do. I mean, it's like, I mean, shit, man. I don't know if this is usually supposed to be funny or you're, I don't even can laughter like
Yeah,
that,
no,
but
it's dude, everything. We just want to hear from you. So whatever you
yeah.
got.
Right. Is anybody chatting on the Twitch there? I mean, have any questions or anything?
Oh, I mean,
Is
we
there
could.
anything?
Yeah, no, we could work up for that too. It usually gets up to that, man. It's I got a bunch of questions here too for you. It's I mean, we could start with one of the closest things, like that's the Sudanese freaking group that you're playing with.
Totally.
I mean,
Um,
you're still finding ways to fucking play with bands, huh? Play live instruments and shit.
that was really kind of that was really a complete like happenstance thing. So I was actually just like on a run. I was just jogging near the park in my house near my house, and I live in Hartford, Connecticut, actually, for anybody that's around. But I was just for a run and I heard this music and I was like, well, that sounds really cool and interesting and different. What is that? And I walked over and there were all these guys just playing and I was pretty ignorant about it. I know a lot of different world music, but I couldn't tell like where it was from or anything. And they stopped and I said, beautiful music. Like, where are you guys from? And what's the story here? And they were all just kind of different guys. Like, they none of them were professionals or anything. They were just all happened to be Sudanese immigrants or people in this country. Pretty all first generation or whatever. Not born in this country, and they all kind of had this group together, and they just play every Saturday over in Elizabeth Park. So I asked them to play like a drum, like this cajon thing, and I didn't fuck it up too much, I guess. So I told them I play guitar, and they're like, bring your guitar back. And then I just started bringing my guitar, and then all of a sudden, like again, like I could have been a disaster. You know what I mean? They had no idea who I was or what I did, and I was just trying to not just like listen and not step on it too much or whatever. And then after it was over, they're like, "Hey, you're like good,"
All
So I was
that
like,
all that Berkeley education or something. Wait, you went to Berkeley, right?
"I did,"
Oh, okay, all right. I thought that was just that would have felt
That makes you good. It
no,
does not necessarily make you good,
no.
but
But hey,
certainly, yeah,
at least it paid off somehow. The improv
yeah.
skills and shit like that. Is that
Um,
where you guys met? Is that where most of the band met?
Turkuaz.
Yeah, yeah. Is that where most of the band? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. Most of the band did meet there. I didn't join until actually later when I lived in New York. But yeah, the initial the initial meeting of everybody did happen at Berkeley. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, so how much later in the squad did you join?
Not too much later. It was like 2011 when I joined. So the very beginning of it. Sorry, excuse me. Um, the very beginning of Turkuaz was somewhere in 2008. But it wasn't really like, it was still kind of like incubating for a long time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and I was friends actually, and I was Taylor and I, the bass player. We were in another band at Berkeley like early on. Oh, I get it.
Slow zooms,
So,
baby.
yeah, yeah, dramatic effect there. Yeah, we were in a band early on, and then we kind of split paths. I left school for a while, and I came back, and all of a sudden he's like, "I'm in this band, and it's crazy." And I was a fan actually. I used to go see them in Boston, and then in New York. We moved to New York at the same time, and so I used to go like when I threw my brother's bachelor party, and I took him to go see Turquoise. And I was
Oh
like,
shit.
yeah, and he was like, "You should be in this band." And I was like, "I wish, but that's not how it works, you know."
Damn.
Um, and then the original guitar player, left. I think when they started to hit the road a bit more, and he was kind of like, "Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work," you know. So yeah, I was lucky enough that I was sort of in the right place at the right time, and kind of friends with various people in the band in some way, shape, or form, and I jumped on, and I've just held on ever since, pretty much.
Damn, bro. And like the colors, man. Did you guys all happen to just pick different colors, or was there some sort of animosity between that? Some they're overlapping color choices, or what?
I'll just say it's. Have you ever seen Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like the color scene in Reservoir Dogs. Like,
Fuck, I don't remember that though.
yeah, your colors are assigned. Yeah, but then you learn. But shit, man, I would give anything to dress up in a bunch of white clothes right now. You know
Damn.
what I mean? I'll get my left nut to get out there and put on some white.
Have you been just practicing social distancing the whole time, or you been doing lessons or drive-ins or anything to dress up in white?
I mean, yeah, I've been trying to be very safe as possible. You know what I mean? That's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You know. Um, but yeah, I've been trying my best. I've actually had quite a bit of shows booked that have also gotten like I'm talking post COVID, like gotten booked and then canceled just because things were spiking and changing so much. So that was discouraging. So it was like everything went to shit. All my shows went away, and I was like, okay, we're gonna figure out some safe things that we can do and private things and drive-in shows, and those have unfortunately kind of gotten canceled so
Yeah.
far. So I have a couple things coming up that are kind of cool, but so far I haven't really done anything around a lot of people, which is by design, you know.
Yeah.
I have been teaching. Yeah, I do Zoom lessons. I taught a lot for in New York for a long time, and I haven't really taught a lot since. So it's actually been good to teach again. Um,
Do you wear
yeah,
white
just
when you teach?
no, I don't.
You
I
should.
don't. It's too hard to keep clean, man.
I would pay extra though.
I'm a like sloppy eater, so
Oh,
yeah.
that's true. And what are you drinking on? You drinking on some dark beer right now too, right?
Actually, it's a pre-canned cocktail by Southern Tier.
Oh shit. A
Bourbon Smith.
cocktail.
Yeah,
This dude.
yeah. So Southern Tier Brewery, and it's in far western New York. Highly recommend it. They do the Pumpkin, which is a very very famous pumpkin like fall beer, which is coming up.
Oh,
So
that's good. I
mhm.
can fuck with that. That's some white boy
Yeah,
stuff, white girl stuff, pumpkin flavored, whatever.
you
But
really kind of take into this hosting job like very like you're smooth, dude.
so, oh yeah, yeah, that's all with this hand, and then
Apps going in, yeah, like editing, yeah. This is yeah, you're natural, dude.
thank you, man. I mean, we've had to keep busy during this whole thing, so I've had nothing else to do, no shows, and like you said, man, the following on Twitch was nil pretty much. So
Yeah.
I saw that we had a limited amount of time to like get people's attention, and video editing has always been a passion, and that's why I really love Danny and her effect on Quaz too. I think it shows like a whole nother side of you guys. Like the behind the scenes is one thing, and then the music videos are fucking awesome too. But
We're kind of like an old fashioned band like that, you know what I mean? Like we came up during MTV, and we like to make like music videos the way they used to make them, and
yeah,
you know,
the donut thing that Sammy and
Oh
that
yeah,
Santa was
those little.
doing.
Yeah, it's great, man. It's actually we've been doing this little um uh
Turkuaz
state.
squares.
Well, that's part of the Hey Stay Tuned thing that we've been doing periodically. We just had our second one we just put out the other day, and they're fun, man. We do we have like games, and we have sometimes things that we film. We have like a lot of stuff in the past that we just like have in the can that's just kind of like ready to go, and you know, it's
Y-
fun. It's fun stuff.
So wait, was this is all quarantine stuff, right? Then this the Hey Stay Tuned stuff, the squares. This is all
That's what got
okay.
started because of the quarantine, yeah, for sure.
Oh, nice. Well, it's awesome, and it's like a really nice creative way of using the Zoom, chat rooms and stuff like that too. Because all you guys are like Hollywood squares, but
Because
turquoise.
the first time we did like a Zoom thing all together, like a stream, and everyone's like, "When are you gonna play Hollywood Squares?" So we're just like, "That's actually a really good idea. It's like the perfect, you have the perfect number of people for that, or like
Oh
Brady
shit.
Bunch, some vintage TV stuff, you know."
So is
Okay,
Danny doing the editing on that too?
Fancy from Manny wants to know who's this, which is fair enough question. Fancy from Manny.
Hey, we have a new guest on twice a week, so I mean, we get that question a good amount of times.
Okay,
Maybe they're talking about me. Who knows?
that's right.
It's like he's sitting in Johnny Carson's seat. Get the fuck out of there.
No, I like it. I like it. There we go. Oh, cool. Look at that Nightbot. Okay,
Thank you.
Nightbot is really just posting all my shit. It's
Oh
really
yeah, we got the command for you, man. They want to know who this is. Boom, hit them with it.
little cat.
Automated. But hey, I seen Talia ask a good question though. Do your Sudanese friends know who you are now, and do they know of the band now that you've played with them a couple
Yeah,
times?
yeah, it's really funny, man. Yeah, so I posted about when I first posted some of the videos from it. They I tagged some of them, on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. And then I got literally, I have like 600 friend requests from people that I presume are Sudanese or friends. The whole group. I haven't gone through. I'm just sorry to anybody I haven't accepted.
If you're
Um,
in here waiting for the
yeah,
friend request.
if you've came, yeah, exactly. If you came here, but yeah, no, that was interesting. So like the one dude, Muhammad, who's the guitar player, um, he hit me up and like because one of the guys is actually leaving, and he called me, got my number, and he was like, "Hey, we really need you next week." He's like so. I went from not being there to him being like, "Hey, we're losing our the other oud player." So he's like, "We need you next week," which was really, I mean, it was really funny and sweet. But yeah, they checked everything out, and they were like, next time I showed up, like I played, and they were like, "Oh, like can play music," and the next time they showed, like, "You're like a professional musician." I was like, "Yeah." So they were actually, it was super cool, man. They were like really, they were they were honored about it. I mean, I was honored because they took me in, and I'm just dying to play music, and I'm like learning, and like they're masters of this music, and I'm just trying to use a little bit of kind of common sense music stuff to apply it to that. But they were, they're like, "Oh, you do this," because a lot of them probably could be professional musicians, but it's hard enough being, an immigrant in this country, let alone trying to be a professional musician on top of that.
Yeah. I'm sure it's just a
Um,
niche, and they just wind up playing to their own squad, like how you ended up
it,
falling upon them.
it was like they have a community. It's very important to their community, which is like that's sort of my feeling in general in music
Yeah.
is like the music is a bonus, and it's a reason to get together, but the community and the people in the group is the important thing. Like it's the music is just kind of what we do in the meantime, but we're supposed to just hang out with each other.
Yeah. No, and I
By
mean,
all
yeah. You. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You go on. Go on.
I'm done. I'm done. You're great.
No, like you guys, especially I don't know if it's Quaz in particular, but the aspect of community, it seems like it's big with the Quaz community. You guys have so many people who just are constantly coming to shows, and that's how I've wound up becoming friends with you guys too. And I guess how you ended up getting into the band, is
Yeah,
just
totally.
so.
That's
Is it
we're
something
we're
that you focused on? You guys have like actually focused on, or is it just come up naturally?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, I like to think that whatever I like to think that the fans of the band in some way represent the spirit of the people that are in them. I'm
Yeah.
at least, to some degree for a long time. At a certain point, if you get super popular, I guess kind of goes out the window or something.
Yeah.
But I think I whenever I've hung out with like Turkuaz fans, like I think they're super nice and really and like they like the same things I like, which is they like to party and they like to hang out with their friends and they like to, you know, try to be cool with each other. You know what I mean? Like, the community thing, and they're obviously we're part of like this quote unquote like sort of jam world, which is it's a horrible kind of misnomer or whatever, but that's a big it's sort of the underground sort of subversive counterculture aspect has always been part of that for sure.
Yeah.
Which is that's sort of the parallel I think to like sort of the bass music world is
Definitely.
very similar.
Yeah.
That it starts very organically, and that's why there's all these kind of different subcultures that all meet together. But weirdly enough, like for Turkuaz, like a majority of the people in the band don't come from that sort of world. Like Dave like loves like the Beatles, you know what I mean? Like and the Stones, you know what I mean?
Damn.
Like I think he probably went to a Fish show like back in the day, but like very few people in the band, like and like Shira when she joined the band, like she was didn't know anything basically about the jam world, and I think that's for the better. It's like fresh blood in the community or whatever,
Yeah.
Whereas I did, I grew up going to Fish shows and festivals and all that stuff, so I feel sort of like at home, and like even like early on at festivals, they'd be like, "Who's that guy?" I was like, "Oh, well, he was in this other band with this dude." Like, like he was in this one band, and they got because it is like, and that's what I enjoy about the community that we're like, that we're a part of, is that there is like a connection, like you're feeling in some way that you're part of some history because the fans are loyal and they hang around for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So did that answer your question?
No, dude, absolutely. That was a crazy good answer to the question too, and it's I think it gives us a little more insight on the band too, because you just think that when somebody's a spearhead for that part of the music world, that they're like engulfed in it, that all they listen to, if they're a SoundCloud rapper, that they're listening to every other SoundCloud rapper. And
I kind of have a theory that everybody in all their scenes kind of hates the scene they're in.
Yeah,
like they're in it, and I think that is ultimately a sort of a reflection of like you kind of the people that bother you the most in life are the people that are the most like you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They point out the things that you almost don't even like or don't realize about in yourself too.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's both. So sometimes when you're at these festivals with everybody that's like you or something, you're like, you need to get away from these people or whatever, And you try to find things from other things, but you're supposed to like pollinate or or whatever. You get what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
It's like I think it's good that we have a lot of different, like we do come in our band, we come from like different worlds or whatever, and something I've been having a hard time is like. The house world is really weird like that. It's very fragmented. It's very like I think back in the day it was like one thing, but now there's so many like I'm like trying to find like what is the house community in like America? Like what is it? Dude. It's like it's a very and I've been trying to figure it out because it's like I know like something, I turned 30 and I was like I love house music. I don't know what the fuck happened to me. But like I'm like a house music idiot now. I love it to death. And I'm trying to figure out like what the community is, but it's so hard to figure out. And I'm trying to figure out like the history and where it's from and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, and you almost showed up like a little bit late too. Not even to say you did, but I mean, I feel like
I missed the fucking Summer of Love by fucking.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like it's already so cemented, and the house scene is such like a prominent. If anything, like one of the oldest dance like communities out there, and I feel like that it brings its own taintedness to it, whereas like they're almost closed off. But I didn't know that. I thought you were into house music for a long time or something. This is a new?
Like I sort of was. Like think like like you think about like if you're growing up. Like I was born in 1985. So like what I was hearing, like I heard like CNC Music Factory, like. Or like, all this stuff, like even like the jock jams, like all that shit. Like you boil it down, I'm like, oh my god, that's like sort of house music, or like, all that stuff. And I had this funny experience that I was in my car in Hartford here, and I turned on the local college station, and it was like the most dope like house techno stuff. I was like, what station? Like Googled it. I'm like, I gotta call the station. Like, what is this fucking music? I called the guy, and he was like, oh, like no one's called him for like a long time. You know? Like, yes, hello. I was like, oh well, what the fuck is this music? And then I befriended him, and he's been living here, and he's like, dude, I was an international touring DJ. I was like he's like, I was about in like 1993.
What?
He's like, dude, he was like, this shit was about to take off, and then hip hop happened. You know, like big, huge, big hip hop records happened, and like hip hop is also a form of electronic music, and that was like the dominant form.
Yeah.
That kind of took off, and in this country, it just kind of like house and stuff. It really, really went underground, and it took off. Obviously, was like off and running in England, and Europe, and everything.
Yeah. Germany, all these weird places. I mean, everywhere. It still had its like cult following here, but it's just, I feel like it's like it's almost like drum and bass too, where it's like they're kind of purists in the way where it's like they only listen to house and they only listen to this kind of house in a sense too, man. Do you have to like put that out there? Do you have what do you classify, you know, the Yes Man project as, or is it multi-genre or whatever?
I mean, I pretty much proudly at this point say it's my best attempt at house music. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, new disco but like that's the thing is like that. I think that's part of what brought me around to this kind of music was, you know, Turkuaz it's a funk band, and like funk is sort of at the core of, you know, it's black, you know, black American music, a lot of strains of it, and like funk is the thing that kind of relates to so many different kind of the parts of the puzzle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, how can I like? Okay, my journey in Turkuaz kind of has informed me about a lot of music that I didn't really know about before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, as I got and I remember like we did the Catskill Chill, we did the Studio 54 set, and I remember when it first came up as an idea, I was like, disco sucks. you know, you know, I was like, this guy, I hate disco, and then. As a course, when then we learned all of it at the end, I was like, I love disco. And now, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I had to learn it. And also, it's like there's another whole element of it, of what that music, who it represents, and whatever. That's a subject for a different day. But, like, you know, I learned that, like, little by little, I got, like, the pieces of it. And then by the time I started kind of, in reality, it's like, you know, Turkuaz is a 9-piece band and with crew and everything. It's an enormous operation. So when I was thinking more about like what I wanted to do on the side, I was like, what is the simplest thing that I could possibly do? You know, on the other side, like the anti
9-piece band.
Anti 9-piece band, which is like, oh, probably a 1-piece band. You know what I mean? Or so I was like, okay, well, what? Then it just turned into like, what can I do? Like by myself, and it was really just like DJing and like but like the same vibe of like if it's dancey and funky and positive mostly or what, you know, not overtly positive. You get what I'm saying? Like joyful and about celebration and stuff. You know,
well,
like that's.
Is there like a difference? Do you feel like, because I did try to watch some of the sets on the Yes Man set on Twitch and stuff. There was a lot of like it got blocked out for DMCAA reasons or whatever. So I did catch most of it, and it seemed like house music is this like very tribal kind of like just put you in a trance. You just are there. There's no real like bass music or I'm sure you've been to shows where it's like it kind of demands your attention and then it'll drop you off a little bit or then it'll put you in the trip. And I feel like Quaz is kind of like that, where it's you guys when you guys are ramping up, everybody feels it. The light guy is ramping up, everybody's ramping up, everyone's dancing a little bit more too. Like, do you feel like this is like the opposite end of the spectrum for that? It's like a nice change of pace for that kind of thing, or is just
man, it's just what I think. It's just what I like gravitate to. Even just tempos, right?
Yeah.
Like like if it's, I dig 70 BPM a lot, or 140. Sorry.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, however you want to think about
Same
it.
thing.
I dig it. I love it, but I can't stay there all night. Like I need to move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, because it's like the spectrum, and and like, I when I was when I was at Berkeley, I spent some time over in Ghana. Actually, I did a African drumming class, dancing, but you had to dance in the class. That was
What?
part. That's how they got people out. You have to dance because like over there, it's like drumming and dancing, same thing. Like not there's no distinguish. Even when I was over there, people would say, "Now we will dance or drum." It's same like word. You know what I mean? It's like the same thing. Or sing, dance, drum is all the same idea. So anyway, I went over there. I spent about 6 weeks there, I think, and like it really like it hit. I'm not like I'm certainly not a master. I can't like play that kind of drumming or whatever. But it's like
You
part
got
of
hell
me.
of a rhythm.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that, but like what I dig is like that sort of ritualistic sort of drumming. So I look at like because when I was there was like there at one point I heard this where I was staying, there was this drumming that was going on, and it went on for like 2.5 days, and it did not stop, and I was like, what is going on over there? And like, oh, that's a funeral. Like, so when they have a funeral, they play music for 36 straight hours.
What?
And then there's other stuff before and after too, but there's a point where they play for 36 straight hours. They do not stop.
For each
Sometimes,
individual person?
well, yeah, for a person, if a person dies,
Oh,
and
shit.
I think they probably need to be a person of some whatever stature.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. If it's like the mayor or something, or are there just drums going off at all points sometimes in Ghana? I'm sure there are, but fucking funeral drums just nonstop.
I'm going on and on and on. And I think that's what our like electronic music is actually sort of like, I think like a human impulse to like be like that of this thing, because it's you got one DJ, the next DJ, song transition,
Yeah.
it's actually getting back to just like this tribal, like
shit.
all the drumming together. Like I think that's really where the impulse comes from, is like this need to actually be sort of have this continuous experience that doesn't stop. And really, I think a big part of it is losing your perception of time, and like getting lost in the celebration of everything. Like I think that's really where a lot of that impulse comes from.
Yeah.
Which is as in a band, it's like it's like you stop, you have tuning it. Like I remember when I saw watching some like big bass music for the first time, I'm like, we don't stand a chance. I mean, but from the level of just like straight like power or whatever,
Yeah. No, hey, you guys really do. That's why I brought that up though, is like because you commend like people's attention, like you like command it, you guys, like and you guys could play the same songs or whatever, but it will still have a different effect.
I've always thought about that because for those of you that are watching that don't know, Eric and I know each other because of his lovely girlfriend Ayat, who was, I think, one of our first like actual like major fans. Ayat and Cami and Dickie were these three people that were at the show in Rhode Island, and I remember for a long time watching the whole audience just kind of like spread, like from those. I remember being at a show in particular, and it was like 250 people in the room, and I looked at it because I remembered each show and everything, and looking at the people that were there, I'm like, I know that y'all are all friends with Ayat and Dickie and Cammy. Like I remember being introduced to all of you from these people, and like that's kind of the amazing thing about starting a band, and the people that actually lift up something from the beginning are like kind of the most important people in this whole thing. Which, by the way, anybody watching, if there's still people watching, Save Our Stages, there's 90% could close through this pandemic. 90. There's a Save Our Stages effort that's going on. Look up, support it, do everything you can do, sign all the petitions, support independent venues, because you don't even get as far as Eric and I have gotten here if you don't have the small venues and people that are willing to support musicians that are starting on that thing. Not to be on a soapbox or whatever.
No. Honestly, I got the Nightbot working overtime, pumping out your commands. I should have that shit on, auto every couple 30 minutes, maybe have the Save Our State. I think that's a great idea.
Oh, it's big. It's very big. Yeah. And for those of us that are trying to go back to touring life, there's unless you're at the level where you're playing AEG and Live Nation venues across the fucking country, that size rooms, that caliber of rooms, most people aren't. Even
Yeah.
big artists that you've heard of, they still need independent venues, and they are really at risk. So everybody that's watching, go out and support those people and try to spread the word that we need to save our independent venues. Is a very, very important thing that's going on right now.
Yeah, man, it's crazy too because I think that's where you guys got that loyal fan base is from playing fucking Ocean Mist or Ocean Club like 30 times and Paradise and fucking the Northeast you guys killed like 100 times, and it was all these small venues that eventually you guys kept bigger and selling out and bigger and selling out. But I mean, just the fact that people do risk their livelihoods to put on, like, to believe in live music and bands that don't have the guaranteed draw that someone like Live Nation, because even when you're playing those venues, man, you got your own battle. That's an uphill battle too, bro. And we don't want the only music venues to be Live Nation.
Unless you like the Cash Me Outside Girl and Jessica Simpson, like every band you've ever liked started in a tiny, tiny little room and had to go from place to place to place to place to place. So that is like, that's the reality.
For real.
So definitely.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No. That's
I'm done. I'm being boring now. Go ahead. No, ask me the next thing.
I mean, hey, no, I was just gonna build on top of that, man. That's the fucking great point, dude. You guys have been really like some of the hardest working touring musicians that I've like just set eyes upon, and then every time that I get tired or some shit on the road, I'm like, or my tour schedule I think is beefy, you guys come out with one and I'm like, fuck, man. And there's 8 of them, and they're getting less of a cut, and they're fucking doing it because they just love it even more, and they got to dress up every day too, and it's like,
now there's people, for the last few years, now there are people that were outworking us, and we're like, when I could finally, I remember putting out a tour announcement, and I was like, oh, I can read this one. Like oh, that's like a step, and then I'm looking at a band like Ghost Note or something. Like, I love that band, and they, dude, before this all started, they were, I mean, microscopic. Like, you looked at their, in terms of like all the dates on an announcement, they're working 13 shows in a row, stuff like that, just like the most hardcore,
Yeah, and they do a good job of like separating too. I guess since there's 9 of them too, they could all do little different projects too. And fucking, I'm not 9 of them. How many are in Ghost Note?
I can't keep track of that. They kind of have to come and go. We're 9. I know that.
Yeah,
we're 9.
yes, sir.
We're not 9, but same as we can play baseball. That's the thing. If we had to play baseball, we have perfect amount of people.
Shit.
And with our crew, we could play football.
Damn.
Yeah, that's good.
You never know, and you keep adding people onto that, man. There's been a couple, here and there that, I've been a part. I've been a part of different phases of the group too, which is crazy at this point to even be a fan of you guys for this long, man. But it's fucking nuts how hard you're killing it.
Wow, time does fly. That is true. I remember. I remember he's playing at the festival that shall not be named over in the little corner off the main stage, and that was a daytime set. And but that was the first time I really got to see. I saw you in little things, but that was the first time I got to see you do your thing. And I was really, really impressed. And that's why, like, I think even a couple weeks later, I think that's when I hit you up. I was like, hey, I need your help. I need, like, how are you doing what you're doing? You know what I mean?
Well, what do you, was that the beginning of like your interest in the whole thing, or like have you just always been kind of familiar with Ableton?
I had, actually started with Ableton. I think I bought my first version of Ableton. I bought was Ableton 3.
Oh shit!
Really long time ago. Like, they had just introduced MIDI clips. They didn't even have MIDI for a long time, and it was super primitive, but like the whole concept and everything was pretty mind blowing at the time. I was like very interested in it, but I started from a much more conventional kind of way of producing, just like the Pro Tools and the live instruments and everything, and just like just trying to make demos for my band.
So was it
Um,
mostly like like live productions then, where you like quantizing things and stuff?
I didn't even, dude. I mean, quantizing was. I mean, I had Reason. I had Reason. Reason was the first thing. Did you ever use Reason?
I for very briefly, but I was never into it that hard.
Reason, that shit was bananas when it came out. Bananas. It was like it blew everybody's minds. And I actually heard. I don't know. I'm not sure how recent it was, but I saw that Flying Lotus. Somebody asked him like, "Hey, what are you producing?" And he's like, "Reason free."
What?
Yeah, I know, dude. All of his stuff, and because he doesn't. Speaking of quantizing, he doesn't quantize anything. But yeah, that was like I remember there was like a thing with like Reason. You could, yeah, you could do Rewire. That was like the first thing where you could actually get Reason to like play in.
Oh yeah, Ableton.
Yeah, well, eventually Ableton could do it too and stuff. Whatever. I can't tell if can't tell if that is boring to people. I'm trying to figure out the crowd here and feel like they want to like
Hey, no,
produce.
it's sometimes it gets weird. Like so we do viewer submissions too, so that's when people start coming, or but literally you have to maybe ask them and then they'll fucking say something. But I'm telling you, I worry about it too sometimes, and then they'll pop up as soon as you say something. So I'm like, all right, man. And there's more and more people coming in here. I'm noticing some new names.
Listen, okay, cool. All right, great.
Yeah,
All right,
man.
cool. All right. Oh, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's really nice folks here, actually. Like the nicest people on the internet, I would have to say. From my experience, these are the nicest people on the internet.
Hey, well, it's good too because Twitch could get a little toxic, but we haven't really experienced that yet.
Well, hey, it's like what we were talking about. It's like I feel like if you're putting out good energy and like what the person, I'd like to think that who your fans are reflected in who ends up liking your music.
Well, I mean, there's 9 of you too, so who gets to decide who's who? Who's like who? Is it just a big melting pot?
This all goes in the pot. You know what I mean? It all goes in the pot. But I don't think we could tolerate each other that much if we weren't all nice people.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you were an asshole, then either you're not going to be able to just like put aside your selfish needs at times, or you're going to piss people off and get kicked out.
Yeah.
Like it kind of it works out.
You think like having the long, really grind, like cutting your teeth for so many little venues, doing the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday show, you think that kind of weeds out the type of people who are in it for the wrong reason too, who are in a band who's just, they don't even know they're in it for the wrong reason too, it's just.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, of course, because it's like the money's certainly not good enough. So if you're not getting sort of like the personal satisfaction or fame or recognition or whatever, yeah, like you're out of there, man. Out of there. You have to enjoy the music and enjoy being with each other, or else like what are you doing it for? There's nothing else there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at one point, like I think my parent, they never said this, but they kind of like, when I was explaining what my life was like and how I had kind of moved out of my place and in New York and everything, like they're like, "Did you join a cult? Like what's going on?" I'm like, "No, I really like it." Like that.
It's great. I'm eating peanut butter, Ma. No bread, but just peanut butter. I love it though. So
Ice cube sandwiches,
dude. Hey, and we're almost back at that square one. I feel like now. I don't know if it's kind of crazy. The touring was the whole supplemental stuff, but now it's like you're almost figuring out what's the plan B now.
Man, I've been talking with some of my friends about it so much because it's like, okay, I got a question for you, just like just trivia question. What do you think the highest earning year of the music industry on record is?
Which year, like in particular?
What was the highest grossing year of the music industry?
The highest grossing.
Accumulated music recorded music sales and live performance.
Oh, I don't. Probably like 2001. I don't know.
Really close. 1999.
Wow.
99.
Was
So
that
if
like
you're
the middle ground of where the shit was like still physical copies and stuff?
$17 CDs.
Oh.
MTV at its peak. No internet had not.
No Napster.
Napster came out in 1998,
Oh shit.
so it was like a year into it.
Damn.
But it hadn't dramatically, because it was still like niche at that point. Like all the younger people were kind of like, all right, well maybe I'll just get this for free, even though it sounds like shit and takes, because it used to take like, I remember like you had to take all night
Yeah.
to download that. You know what I
And
mean?
then sometimes if it was on LimeWire and FrostWire, it wouldn't even be the right file. It would be Soldier Boy. He
Oh
was
yeah, we
doing
get
that.
yeah. Everybody got like yeah. I tried to like yeah, it'd be some weird song. Yeah, totally. But you were still people like they're kids and they're broke anyway, and like they're just getting fucked by the there's so much greed at that point. $17 CDs, blah blah blah. But they had the time to adjust and they didn't. But that's a whole different story. 1999 highest we had peak level. By 2009, 10 years later, we were at like our low since like the 60s. Like it was like adjusting for inflation, it was like horrible.
Damn.
So that is right. That's a year I got out of music school, like a year after rather. So like I graduate, 1999. I'm like a fresh kid. That's like when I'm like obsessed with playing the guitar for the first time, right?
Yeah.
10 years later, I'm out of music school and it's at its all-time low. So, and then the next 10 years to 2019, we built it all the way back up again, man. With all these festivals, everything, like we pretty much pulled back about even back up to the early 90s. Like we had, against all odds, like there's so much perseverance, and got all the way back there, primarily through live music. But streaming, even the streaming is very inequitably distributed, but the overall numbers are starting to, it's actually starting to make sense. Like it's almost impossible, and it is possible to
Wow.
get something.
I mean,
Everything's
it's got to be some way. Maybe it's not the ways that we're thinking, the methods that we're still
yeah.
trying to use from
But now,
1999.
but now where it's like it's streaming. I mean, I have to laugh or else I'll cry. But the stream, recorded music is very very difficult to monetize now. Touring is also pretty much, at least for the time being, is gone, and it's going to be a hard road to get back. So we've done it before, but I'm a lot older now. We've all been in this for some time. If you're my generation, you've been on quite a roller coaster here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where we're at. We've climbed ourselves all the way back, and now we're going to take a big hit down, and it's just going to be up to all of us to try to get live music back as vibrantly as it was, and we have to be I don't know what the word is, but we have to be creative, we have to be mindful, we have to be we have to have a feeling of being patrons for the arts, as people,
Definitely.
for people to get back, and I see that a little bit with like the Bandcamp thing about how they're having these days where 100% goes to the artist.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it was a great idea, even though it's one day.
Yeah. No,
But
that's perfect.
these ideas of direct, like, and like, a really great idea that's very simple to implement, I think, would be integrating a tip function onto every streaming app. Be like, I really like this artist, I'm going to send them money directly.
Yeah.
Like it would be very easy to implement.
Yeah.
You know what I
No, that's dude, it's simple as fuck too, and you think about this, like why wouldn't there be direct to consumer ways to support these? And it's almost like these antiquated systems kind of just don't want to be just that antiquated, And I mean, Bandcamp as a platform we kind of need, so maybe fees, or like how DistroKid does it, like the artists pay per year and then you get unlimited distribution rights or whatever. But I mean, just the fact that there hasn't been that for things like Spotify, it makes you think like, why aren't you looking out for the people who pretty much give you all the business? You just have the platform, and
Well, I mean, it's all. I mean, I think this is with any industry is, like you couldn't fucking do this without me. And
yeah,
music is the ultimate thing of like, yo, if we stop, you wouldn't have shit. You
dude,
wouldn't have anything. And like, we need to know our power with that. We really do. And it's showing itself right now. You know what I mean? But we're at the bottom. But like because of what's happened, we're kind of at the bottom. But we have the power. If you, like all these people that have music industry jobs, you literally provide not a thing to the actual substance of it. I'm not saying that you don't do great work. Like a lot of people who are in the industry that love it for the right reasons and do incredible work and organize people, the organized adults in the room. I agree that we need to have those people. But when it comes to what the people are there for, the substance, just like we are the ones who have the power here, and we're just so used to getting fucked.
Yeah. They facilitate the industry side of things, not the music part, not the first half.
So used to it that we just kind of like, we're like, all right, well, whatever. Like, you know, there's a great song by Gillian Welch called "Everything Is Free Now." Do you know that song?
Nah.
Check it
I
out.
like it already though.
Yeah, Everything Is Free Now, and it came out. I love Gillian Welch is one of the best songwriters ever. Just Nashville, just kind of genius.
Okay.
And a song called "Everything Is Free Now," and there's a line that said, "Someone hit the big score. They figured it out. They're gonna do it anyway, even if it doesn't pay." And like that's this like mindset that people are in all the time.
Damn.
You know that it's like, well, you just love it. I know you love it. We're gonna use your pure love of it against you.
Yeah. That's a lot of this society too. I can't stand that shit whether it's like, you know, if it's somebody bullying somebody into their art, or like just somebody taking advantage of somebody because they're a little bit more timid or something. You know, it's like the high school kind of, it's that all over again. And I've seen it with this industry kind of too, but I think the fact that everyone's on a level playing field right now, it kind of shows, you know, it gives you more of an opportunity to directly reach. Even if these platforms don't give you one, like Bandcamp or something, we move over to fucking Twitch, and Twitch has been very pretty good about facilitating another community. It might not be the same community that we started off with or whatever, but I mean, it's evolving.
I gotta get. I mean, I guess you know, I don't know all that much about it, but I do know that they are at least trying to have a little bit more wiggle room with this stuff. You know, I mean, I just want to know, like, copyrighted material. Like, we live in a world where it's like this crazy contradiction. I get that. Don't get me wrong. You have to respect people's IP. Like, your intellectual property should pay you money over time. You should get checks in the mail from the things that you do, 100%. But we also live in a world where we're very used to paying $10 or $11 a month to have every song in history right now. Like right now. So that's the world we live in. So it's this kind of huge contradiction when you get on a streaming service and they are cracking down. So like we have in real life, we have this very free kind of use of, and I think that streaming is really much more like real life, you know, as opposed to something that's recorded or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's much more, it's the closest thing we have to hang out in person. You know what I mean? So the fact that we have this very free give and take of use of art because everything's accessible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really hurting people in the DJ community, or really anybody that uses copyrighted material as part of their art, which is a huge amount of people, right?
Yeah. Damn.
You know, so like there has to be a better solution, and it is just fucking sucks that it's hitting right now when everybody has no other choice and no other way to interact, and all of a sudden they're cracking down on all this copyrighted material. They're like, listen, if you just offered me a way, if you're like, hey, we're gonna let this play, and then afterwards we're gonna give you a bill, and we're gonna say, hey, you played this song, this song, this song, this song. If you want to keep this on your stream, it's gonna cost $3, $10, $12,
Wow.
$1, 60 cents, 40 cents, whatever, for everybody. You know what I mean? And for every artist, think about it. They'd be like, I would totally, you know, rather than you .00001, you know, cent a stream, or $700 or $12,000, whatever it costs to actually license the material, they'd all probably be like, I would let it be in a stream for $1, 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It adds up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the thing is with YouTube, the YouTube system kind of is like that, but it's broken right now because I'll upload some of these and they'll be like, one of our guys did like a meme, of the Rick roll, right? So I'm now I have to go out and like fucking trim out the Rick roll because he had a 3-second did it that drum roll, you know.
That away?
And that it triggered the YouTube copyright system, and now whoever is his management gets whatever payment from the whole episode, not that little bit. There's no opportunity for me to pay him X or a divisible. He just gets the whole fucking episode, and it's like, wait, what?
It's so backwards, and the fact and there's such an easy solution to it.
Yeah.
Because if the algorithms are that good,
For
and
real.
they are, and it sucks because like as a DJ, Shazam and SoundHound are the best things in the world because like when my best, my when I see the DJs I love the most, I'll just stand in the corner and I'll just be like, good. I even asked some of them, I was like, is it cool that I'm doing this? Like, I'm just like, but it's just easier than going up to them and being like, what was that sound? What was that sound? So as a DJ for a long time, like that was the best thing. Now we're in this world where it's using the same algorithms against you, like where it's, and it's like, if it's that good at figuring out what the stuff is, then just let me pay for it. Like we'll pay for it. If I don't want to pay for it, just leave it up to me.
Yeah. You know
Like-
what? Actually, Phosphor, right down here, I see him. He says copyright algorithms. My music was flagged. He was one of 3 songs that got copyrighted too, and he submitted them to the stream. So it's like,
This happening to a bunch of my friends that it's happening to their own music.
yeah. Oh my god.
It's a mess.
Dude.
It is an absolute mess.
Come on.
And you're like, it's cool. It's cool. I promise, it's me.
Yeah.
So like, you have no option but to craft everything individually and make them somehow unique each time. And this is coming from somebody who's a music performer. Like I play guitar. Like it's not like I can't do this shit. Because people are like, "Well, make your own music, bro." I'm like, "That's all I've done my entire life." Like,
Yeah.
Like, listen, I'm capable of doing it. Do you understand what it takes to make a unique experience with no copyrighted material each time, every single time you do it, and make it a fresh experience for everybody else?
Dude.
People, it's almost an impossible job, which is why like the very beginning of this quarantine thing, it was a really it was a vibe. It was like a vibe. Like everyone was killing DJ sets. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was super fun. And then they all just shut it down. And I want to know how much money people are really making of it. I think everybody loses because the artists that would have been happy to be like, can we please have just like maybe a couple dollars for each stream? Does that work for you? If it was the same like tab at the end of like what I buy like at Beatport, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck yeah, totally. Did I make $30 from a Venmo? Because that's the other thing is we're not making any money off this.
Nah.
Except for Venmo donations, which are totally optional and like sometimes don't happen at all.
Yeah. No, it's
So
like
it's
tip
like-
share pretty much.
I'll potentially lose money just so I can do it so you guys can have a good time.
Yeah. And the thing is too, like most DJs, they buy the music to begin with. They have that sense of like, I know what it means to make it artwork and release it out there. I'm going to pay the 99 cents, So I'll be spending $30 before a set just to fucking buy everything off iTunes, And then it gets claimed.
I paid $250 for the high res.
The Beatport, yeah.
Exactly. Like I have that in my preferences of like, we'll pay this much more for the high resolution.
Not if they're going to copyright me, though. Nah, I'm not paying that. I'll rip it off fucking YouTube.
They're like all so stupid because like the artist could be making money, some kind of intermediary service could be making money, and we could all be doing this better.
Yeah, no, and like you're saying, it's just nipping it in the bud.
The end of my rant.
It's just
It's driving.
no.
driving
Hey,
crazy.
yo, do you think is this something that you've had in your mind this whole time, or is this sparked it? Was that little outrage sparking it? Because that fixed. It doesn't seem like there's a fix like that.
I was driving. I had a long drive this last weekend. I went to go see my folks, and it was just in my head the whole time. I was like, what if you like? I was thinking about like what a business would be like, but the problem is that you need to interface with all these publishing companies and all these, like it's just a turf war.
Yeah.
And unless there was some easy way, like I don't know. That's kind of beyond my pay grade, but like.
Hey,
Somebody's probably taking. It's like one of those ideas that like it's probably a good idea, but it's so hard to execute, you know.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about. I mean, I got some time now.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what I'll do.
exactly. And
Maybe
and
I'm gonna be the industry douchebag now. Check
dude,
it out.
hey, you're fighting back against the industry, you know? Fuck it. We needed somebody, man. We needed somebody.
I play guitar, and now I license.
Hey, Tom Morello did it, right? Fuck the system kind of thing. He guitarist first and foremost, and then a politician. I think he got his like master's degree in political science or something like that too. So
He went to Harvard. He made sure to tell people that he did.
yeah, I've seen a lot of that. Yeah, but hey, I mean, you guys do kind of lean into the media part of it, like let me connect with our fans, and like you said, that could bringing an organic or original piece of content, especially how much people expect of it today, it's really hard to do. So like you mentioned that you had some technical difficulties with what was it, the last episode of Squares? Was it some copyright shit, or what happened with Zuckerberg?
That actually, I don't know. I mean, I think it was just like it's fucking. I mean, Fuckerberg. You know, like I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know what happened.
Oh, okay.
It was unfortunate, but I know that Live for Live Music that we're close with. You know, Live for Live Music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that they were experiencing issues.
Oh,
Suffice it to say that there are a lot of things going on with the way that content is being managed. I don't know the specifics of it, but I do know that it was, we're all on a thread together, and Danny, who runs a lot of stuff, she was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. We're trying to get to the bottom of it, you know. So that's beyond my understanding as well, but they are really not making it easy for people that are trying to just do anything they could possibly do to like make music and make money and make content.
yeah. No.
So
Unless you got the money already, unless you're part of the squad, the elite already, they're not having it. But
no,
they
don't want to.
yeah,
Not in the club.
it must suck for Danny doing all that work, and then you run into some bullshit like that.
Yeah, dude, it's hard to coordinate a whole bunch of people and do these events. You know what I mean? And like we did it.
Yeah.
We did our best. We did our damnedest. But like,
Yes, sir.
then all of a sudden they're like, well, nope, sorry.
No, that's the worst feeling, honestly. Doing all that work, all that prep work, and then having that go on.
Somebody asked me to play if I would play guitar, and honestly, it makes me more comfortable to have a guitar in my hands anyway.
All right.
So
I'm trying to get you a scene lined up right now with let me get this going. Get the band. Get the motherfucking band.
This is a bass player. He's got a cool hat and no shirt.
All right, here we go. Hold on. I'm gonna fix it real quick. Where is it? Here we go. Ooh.
I don't know if your bass music fans like the blues, but
Hey, they gonna like it now. They gonna like it today.
oh, you got animation there? Oh, that's cool.
Oh, I got you in drums. That's not what I meant.
I mean, I can do that too. Well, I don't. I'm trying to get a. Oh, he's kind of trying. He's trying to duel with me. Oh wait, is that you? Is that your face? Do you play guitar? You film that guitar? I mean, shit. I gotta stop. You're fucking. I gotta, like. I'm just trying to play what like I'm doing like a shreds video. There we go. That was a real like late night show, you know. All right. There you go.
Played that shit. Thank you, man.
Not
Oh
as
my
much as you,
god.
man. You were ripping it over there.
Yo, amazing. Amazing. While you're talking, you were fucking just chatting away. It ain't no thing for you, bro. You can play other instruments while playing guitar too, huh? Fucking piano.
I have to. I have to. They make me.
Bro.
They make me.
Downsizing.
It's my job security.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because I'm like, well, you know, I know you guys are mad at me, but like, if you got to find someone to play all the keyboard parts and all the guitar parts together, then I don't know, make a little make.
Yeah, that's cutting in your wallet at that point too, man. You know, add 2 more people or 1 more person. Nah, I can't have that. It's a whole nother percent, whole nother point.
You can't have any more people in this band.
Shit, man. Nah, that's fucking gas though, bro. Have you always been playing keys too, or is that something that the band has made you pick up?
No, I started, you know, like my dad was actually a professional musician for a time, you know, and then fortunately for me, he ended up being a lawyer. Like he was good at it, so you know, but he's still like really good. He still plays, and we grew up playing together. And he started me on piano lessons when I was really young. But like I never got really good, like didn't take to it or whatever. I'm not really that great of a keyboard player. Like I can like get around and I like doing it. If I absolutely have to play a part, I can do it. But like I'm a guitar player, you know what I mean? It's like that's what it is. There's a lot better keyboard players out there. But
drums as well too, because as soon as I brought up that drum overlay, you're like, oh, fuck it, I'll do that shit too.
I had a drum set in my house growing up. Like no, but you know, I will play the drums, but I am not a drummer. I'll put it that way.
Oh, okay.
You know?
All right. Well, you're multi-talented too, man. You play fucking everything, bro. Out here.
No. I just that's like it's like the Beatles instruments. You know what I mean? Everybody, it's like those are the instruments that were in the Beatles. You know,
True.
Guitar, keyboard, drums, bass, and bass is like a guitar. You know, I played bass before the guitar actually, and then you know it was weird. Like after I started, because it's like I never got good at the piano when I was a kid. I never practiced, didn't like it. And then I heard my brother had a guitar and I kept stealing it from him. And then, you know, it was like you could hear what you hear on the radio. You know what I mean? Like, and you could like play it. And I'm like, oh, it sounds like the songs I like. You know what I mean? It doesn't really. It's a lot harder for that to happen on the piano. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And then like by the time I was 13 or 14, I was like, oh, I probably should. So I went back to it and sort of started to like come up with my own way of learning what I needed to learn because I just. No, I had basics, and you know my dad's really good, so I could ask him questions and stuff. But like I'm still to this day, I still have to like practice, and everybody's gonna practice, but I'm still learning somewhat basic things on the keyboard, and the piano. Like I still have to try to improve a lot. The guitar is like it comes more naturally, I guess.
So when did you start with that? When was the what age?
My dad started me on piano when I was like 5
or
6.
Guitar.
Guitar I was like 10, 9.
Oh
10.
shit. Okay. That's when you started stealing your brother's guitar. Okay, a little bit later. Damn. All right. Just more of a natural knack for the guitar then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, everybody, you know how it is. Like everybody, it's more like it chooses you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. No, definitely, man.
Oh, like that's it. Like that's what I like.
God, you ever think of fucking singing? You know, joining the girls up there.
I did sing. Like I was in a band. Like before I was in Turkuaz, I had a band called Austin Bats. You can find it on Spotify and stuff if you want. And that, I sang, like, I sang everything. I wrote all the songs, did all that stuff. And
oh, shit.
I will sing, you know, and if I do gigs, like, people are like, do you sing? And I'm like, I can if you need me to. Like, if I'm the only one who will sing, I'll do it. And, you know, I'll do solo gigs and I sing and stuff like that. But I really don't sing in Turkuaz because we have so many good singers that, like, they don't need my mess. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true. Well, I mean, one day maybe we'll be blessed with the little angelic...
I sang a little bit when we did the band tribute. I sang some songs, and you know when we used to do weddings, like back in the day, when we used to do a lot, like we would kind of spread it around a little bit more because it was like you know, there were so many songs, and they're like, "Can you sing this one?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll sing this one." You know what I mean? Just like take a song off somebody's plate or something like that. But I'll do it. But it's like we have such good singers in the band; they don't need my, you know, it is.
Hey, well, you do God's work with your fingers anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can hear, like, listen to my speaking voice. Like, you can imagine what my singing voice sounds like. What it sounds like. But I'll do it. You know.
Yeah. Hey, if need be, man of many talents, wears many hats. He says.
It's more like I'm a carpenter, and I can, you know, I can use the different kinds of tools.
Yeah.
That's more what it's like.
Like OJ, if the glove fits, wear it. Why not? Or was that what's his name? That was
No, well, I mean,
Seinfeld, wasn't it?
that it's a very different metaphor, but yes. But the glove didn't fit him. That was the whole point.
That's true. That's true. That's why I think I had to say it was a Seinfeld. I think did the shoe fit? No. Did the glove fit? He said something like that. Something like Jackie Brown or whoever the lawyer on Seinfeld was. For some reason, I'm getting
that's
messed
fine.
up.
Keep jamming on the one, dude. It's great. Working.
Yeah, man. So I mean, I know this whole thing kind of fucked up everyone's plans, but was there anything in particular you were most hyped on? You guys were supposed to be on fucking Electric Forest this year too, man.
Oh my god, I don't even want to. It's so depressing. It's gonna be such a dope summer, dude. Because we were doing that whole run with it was the Remain in Light turns 40, which is we were gonna be touring with Jerry Harrison, who was an original member of the Talking Heads, and Adrian Belew, who was of many, he was on that record as well as on that tour, but also part of King Crimson and in David Bowie's band, and he's a legend, absolute legend. So we were going to be doing that. We were going to be, Electric Forest, Bonnaroo, Red Rocks, Bottle Rock. We were going to play Peach Fest like right after Oysterhead. It was going to be like the dopest, man. And that's why when it first came down, I was like, this can't be happening. Our first show of the whole tour was going to be at the Joy Theater at Jazz Fest.
Ooh.
Second weekend. Like, I was so overjoyed about that, and the whole 2 weeks going into that was just like stacked with other shows. Like, this was, I'm going to be 34 years old. I've been I've been a professional musician now for 10, 11 years, and this was like, I was kind of starting to turn into like an adult. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what it was. I was like, okay, cool. Like, these are like big, like
big boy shows.
Big boy shows, yeah. Big boy shows, yeah. That's totally the way. Like, pressure was on. Like, I finally felt like, okay, like, and we've had a lot of experience, and I was like, we're ready for this. Like, it's big time, and we have a lot of experience. We're ready to take it on. So, that's. Yeah, the kinds of things that I was looking forward to were just, yeah.
Now, I mean, have you? Obviously, the obvious thing to plug you guys and why you guys have kept up forward momentum is that the tours. The live shows have been like what you draw people in on, how you guys get your name out there and everything like that. You guys have still found ways to put out content and shit. Have other bands or other people in the jam scenes been doing that? Like the DJs, everyone kind of flocked to Twitch, but have you noticed like other bands or your peers kind of like try to stay relevant with like other sorts of content, or is this something that you guys are using to stand out a little bit right now?
I mean, I guess that's one. I'm proud of us for staying on it, and because it's work. Trust me, it is work.
Yeah.
When you have to, plus the process is very convoluted for what you have to do. You have to have somebody.
It's just a fucking sub right now.
Yeah, look at that.
A subscription. Subscription notice. That's it's a little bit. I forgot to turn the audio notifications off, but it might go off 2 more times now. It's just me.
Yeah.
It's just a little me right there floating on the screen.
You are so linked. Look at you. You're so creative. I haven't really paid attention that much to some of the other bands in the scene. I would like to think that maybe we've been more active than others. I like to think we always kind of try to take the extra step. But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I haven't watched everybody. Um, I think we've been trying to. We have a lot. Obviously, we have a ton of things in the archive. When that's obviously tons of old shows that we're mixing and putting up on Nugs. So if you like our stuff, check out nugs.net. We have a ton of shows on there. Um, but yeah, the video stuff, like, it takes a lot of work because, say, like, when you start it, right? Think about like starting that with a 9-piece band. You have to have somebody that just puts down the initial arrangement on a click, right? Then they send that off. Drummer has to play on it. Then you have to build the rhythm section up, and then even think about the horns. Like, at some point, the horns all have to, because the horn section is used to playing. We're all used to playing as a section, right?
Yeah.
But horns are, and singers, like, you need to trying to sing. Like, you're just basically singing your part into the void, hoping that it'll be in tune with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I was gonna ask about. I think it was the Live for Live music stream
So
that you
was
guys did. That's what you're talking about.
Well, that one is interesting because some of them are songs we played a ton of times before.
Yeah.
Which, it's a little less weird because the arrangements are done and we're like, I know this person is going to do this thing. Like, I know that for a fact. But the other things were like, we're writing the parts and coming up with the arrangements right then and there. Like, that's it. Like, we're coming up with it. So it's just kind of this like weird sixth sense muscle memory thing of like, I'm pretty sure the people, if I do this, that they're gonna do this. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Like, and having this thing, but you're just kind of putting it out into the void and hoping that it's just gonna work out.
I was wondering that because I'm like, there's no fucking way they did this over Zoom or live or whatever the fuck, because it was just so.
But we did like the Beatles thing, right? Which was that was, to me, like, that's kind of my favorite one so far, and because it's like this combination of like, yes, the arrangements are done, but we have to kind of paraphrase them to some degree. Like, we can't do every overdub, So like hearing everybody's sort of like interpretation was like really that was inspiring to me. I couldn't believe it when I heard it when it was done. I was like, holy shit, like, we're sick.
Because you guys just like just recorded your part and didn't even hear the other person's, or like you guys heard
we would
just the
hear
drum
like
track?
a very basic version of it, and then have to sort of anticipate how a part was going to fit in with everything else.
Wow.
It's like pretty psychedelic, actually.
Dude, that's trippy, man, because you guys are really, like, one thing about the jam scene and, like, how good, when you guys do hit those transitions of songs, like you say, a DJ, it's easy, but when you guys do it, it's so much more impressive, because you guys have 9 people that gotta all find each other's vibe and tempo and not mess up once, and to do that over Skype and with latency or Zoom or whatever the hell, like, that's just a whole nother trial and tribulation.
It really doesn't exist to do any live performance. Like, people are pushing it. Like, Kristen McBride had a cool thing up on his Instagram the other day about this. So a couple people have come up with some sort of like workarounds to it. But like, no one's really come up with a good solution yet. So what it really has to be is just different layers on top of the original, thing. So.
Nah, that's honestly insane. You're pretty much recording tracks that you're used to just jamming out on.
Just jamming out, yeah. It's sort of like just playing a show and you can't hear most of the band.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what it's like, and just hoping it's gonna work out,
Yeah, man. You guys are one of those bands that I feel like like hearing the album doesn't do it justice to. That's why I love the Nuns a Ton. Like, the live video was produced so well, and it kind of puts you in that like psychedelic just fucking vibe that you guys really carry well, just put you in that trance, and the solos, everyone shines. Say that again.
A lot of hard work went into that one. It's a Nuns a Ton.
Dude, that was good.
Not the least of which was Danny Brandwine, who of course you've mentioned several times, who's Dave's wife, who she's been part of the operations for a long time, and she's very talented when it comes to all the editing and all that part of it. But that's every single person gave their best effort, I think, in that one.
Do you have like I had to just I'll replug my fucking keyboard in. But did you have like a particular favorite video you guys worked on, or piece of thing that you worked on? Because
I like
they're all pretty different. I love the music videos, man. There's animated ones. There's fucking like the live ones. Like you guys are hitting every single aspect of these things.
my favorite thing is Digitonium and how
Tonium.
it goes to the Sword in the Stone thing. That was
Okay.
like that was the most insane process ever, and that's probably the thing I'm the most proud of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, yes, you are in it. So Darling Trickery, that's Ayat, right?
Yeah, yeah. Darla Sugary's eyed. Yeah.
You are in it. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, Digitonium is my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that one's honestly crazy, man. You guys, the animation style on that one's fucking nuts. Like, it's a whole
I,
story.
I sent you the stems for that. You still have all the stems for that record?
I think I still have. I think I only might have grabbed Night Swimming and one of the other ones. I don't know if I grabbed Digitonium.
Oh yeah, I'll send it. I'll send it over to you
Nice.
sometime.
Yo, I'm hyped, man. Is there anything you guys are doing with the new record?
With a new record, yeah, we have like a ton of recorded material. Like, fortunately, because it was just like business as usual before. So we were just like, um, we were just cranking away. Just like show recording, show recording, show recording. It's kind of what it was before. So there's tons of stuff we have recorded. What's going to happen with it, I can't really speak to, but I do know that we have a lot of stuff that we have been working on for a long time. We're actually really lucky in that regard. It's not like it's we have we were always trying to come up with something, and Dave has a studio, so we record a lot there. When we're all in New York, we're kind of like optimize our time, and we're like, okay, let's go in and just come up with music, and there's a lot of stuff. So I don't know, can't say what plans are or anything like that, but it's all something cool is going to come out eventually.
That's dope, man. Does Dave go into these things with like a vision in hand? Because I feel like a lot of them are, if you listen to the lyrics too, it's like storyline kind of stuff. It's not just like random lyrics or anything. Does he put a narrative out there, or is it just?
I can't really speak to his creative process exactly. I don't want to speak for him, but what it seems to, if I had to wager what he would say, is that it kind of comes together organically over time as you're working on it. The themes sort of kind of emerge after, they kind of work on each other. Or that you're just, maybe if you happen to be writing material at a different time, it all kind of the meanings start to just kind of coalesce themselves, without any, like, what it's like when you're working on music, like there's connective tissue there that maybe you don't know what's there when you're starting, but when it's done, you're like, oh yeah, there's like a similarity or like a cohesiveness that's there that kind of just becomes apparent. Or you also keep working on the material until they are gelling together.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing too, is because like sometimes I'll just get frustrated when things aren't gelling together and I could quit, but and like you said too, like, oh, I know how it feels like when these connective like muscle tissues or like just brain blasts or whatever, but there's only one of me, there's 9 of you guys, so I can't imagine where the like whose ball that creativity goes in, and from an outside perspective, like you guys all mesh so fucking good, and that's why the live shows are great, because you guys all have like a song or two to just like shine. But like then there's Dave, just seems like he's kind of like, he's like he has like a narrative too, like there's something he wants to say with an album or a song or something, and I don't know, I find it pretty interesting, even with the videos too, they're not just like, oh, hey, here's us looking good or doing this, like you said, there's the animated videos, even the one that I was in, there's like the storybook, you guys, it seems like there's a lot of intention behind everything in the band. Sorry.
It's very nice of you to say that, actually. Intention is, I think that's, the longer I am involved in music, I think that's the thing that really communicates to people is intention.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I feel like, and maybe like, I know that you'll probably feel this too, is you have to really work to keep your intention pure. If that's what it was in the first place, some people it's not, but like, you have to give attention to your intention. You have to give it like love, and you have to give it some time, because you know, and you have to cultivate it, because if your intention if you start to be like, well, whatever, it's a paycheck, it's a job, and I'll just kind of like float along. Like, I am pretty confident at this point that people can feel that. Like, I think that's true. Like, and I
Definitely.
think that if you don't watch your intention very closely, that you run the risk of losing the vitality of what you do.
Yeah,
Like, do
absolutely.
you know who Colonel Bruce Hampton is?
No.
Colonel Bruce Hampton is this amazing, amazing guy who was very kind of instrumental in uh, the jam world, but many things beyond that. And he was legitimately psychic. Like, he uh, he could guess anybody's birthday, pretty much. Like, with a couple failures here and there, but he could pretty much walk up to anybody and say what their birthday was. Sometimes even their time.
What the fuck?
Um, yeah, yeah. You ask any do some research. So not only that, but he died. If some people are watching this, maybe know all about him. Colonel Bruce Hampton
Colonel
is his
Bruce
name.
Hampton? Okay.
Colonel Bruce Hampton. So, and he was in this band that was called Colonel Bruce Hampton and the Aquarium Rescue Unit, which had O'Teal Burbridge, his bass player, um, Jimmy Herring, and Jeff Sipe, and a bunch of he like really, and then he was sort of like the mentor of Derek Trucks. Like, Derek Trucks is pretty much like his like protege, and really all the kind of people in the jam scene. Like, so like you're talking, like Fish and Last for Panic and all those guys. Like, he was really sort of like the Pied Piper, and he's this really just weird psychedelic dude, and just is all about sort of the connections between people. But he had this very kind of, he was very much like this mentor, sort of like uh, what's the word? Guru. He was like a guru for people. You know what
Okay.
I mean? Shaman kind of person.
Alright.
So much so that he died on stage during the encore of his 70th birthday. He had a
What?
70th birthday party in Atlanta, and I believe it was the Fox Theater, and he died during the encore.
At the
Uh,
Fox Theater?
Fox Theater, yeah, and
What?
yeah, you got to look it up, man. It's the craziest. It is. If people knew all the details about it, it'd be like the craziest rock and roll story of all time. And you have to look into it. But basically, the idea, everybody that was really close to him will be like, he knew his entire life that that's how he was going to die. And and if you talk to anybody that was around him during the time going up into that show, he kind of like closed his circle, whatever his like tension with anybody. He like, it was all done by the time and then he died on stage. And like,
Dude.
it gets more. It would take forever to tell the story and all the different angles that I've heard. I'm completely fascinated by him and the guy and the event and everything. And it was actually during Jazz Fest in New Orleans. Was like, it was a Monday. I believe it was a Monday. It was a Sunday or Monday when the show happened. And I was in New Orleans, and so many of his friends and everybody were either left New Orleans and went to go play the show, or maybe had other gigs and couldn't come back. So it was just like, in that community, it hit it super hard. And I just heard story after story after story after story about all these people. And one of the common threads, and I heard tons of things that he said, but one of the most common things that he talked about was intention in music. That's the thing that people feel. The intention is really, you know, that's the thing that has like the staying power, that has the
Definitely.
vitality. Like, if your intention is right, then the music is almost like like the music's less important. Like,
Yeah.
the important is like what's in your heart, your intention that you're trying to communicate to people. And like, that's the thing that comes through. And like, I can see that everybody can kind of think about times when they saw, they're like, I'm watching this guy, but I'm not sure like where his heart is. Or people where it's like, your purity of intention or in your focus and your passion is so um like
On your
clear.
sleeve?
Yeah, and so like palpable that
Yeah.
like, I will crawl through the desert to see you do that again.
Yeah. No,
And
for
like,
real.
that's like the difference. I know I'm getting kind of dramatic, but like
No, yo, that's it though. That's why I say the intention thing, and I don't say that lightly because it's just I think uh, you know, um, we're just littered with fucking disposable kind of stuff, and there's the intention is not there because it's gotten lost in, whether it's looking cool or being, the cool one or, having just, I don't know. It's like a weird high school popularity contest again, but once your intentions are there and you realize you're here for the long haul, and you're fucking here to do this, whether it's this band or the other band or fucking if it's this member or what, like it's on you at the end of the day. I think that's what people realize, and this has been like a great equalizer.
No, and it doesn't have to be completely about like your heart completely too, because it can also be like literally like a functional decision about like, so if I'm working on like my music, like the house music I've been working on, like, well, I really would like for people to dance. So like, if the shit's not grooving and it's not making me dance, then it sucks. It fails its first need.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
So it's like sometimes it's just a thing you got to be like, what am I trying to do?
That's true.
What the fuck am I trying to do, man?
Hey.
Sorry, am I clipping now? I'm yelling.
Nah, you're good, man. You're fucking good, because that's a question we can't yell that loud enough. Honestly, like, what are we trying to do, man? Like, even when we figure it out, I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, what the fuck, What do we take a few steps back, and now we got no shows, so now we got to do the Twitch thing, and now even then we're like, oh shit.
Now, in fact, we have like more time to think, which is
scary.
Yeah, I don't. It's not good. It's not good. Too much time.
Nah.
Because when you're acting all the time, then you don't have enough time to think yourself into a corner, Dude,
for real. Nah, it's good and bad too, because I feel like people are realizing like maybe it's good to be on that schedule, just that grind time, like zone out, get into the just flow state of things and fucking do it. Because then as soon as you pull back and we're in this little fucking weird middle ground, oh man, thinking's kind of weird. Thinking gets stressful, dude.
So stressful.
Dude, it's rough, man.
But, I'm so stressed. All this thinking, dude.
rough lives we live, man. Rough lives we live. But are you back in Brooklyn right now, or where you broadcasting from?
I've been living in Connecticut actually for the past 5 years.
Oh shit, really? Oh wow.
I moved to Hartford, Connecticut on purpose. Yeah, no, I moved here. I was in the city for years, and I was just really kind of stressed from touring. And then I found this little kind of house in this community of musicians and stuff here in Hartford, which is actually really dope. Like, I have a really nice little, a nice little group of people that I can be creative work with. And well, scene here, and then I can get to Boston. I can get up to Burlington. Well, I used to.
Yeah.
And New York's only like 2 and change away, so it's
that's not bad. That's pretty middle, pretty central, honestly, for most of the big Northeast cities that you'd probably frequent anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty. All the stuff on the East Coast is pretty easy to get to, and they have an airport and whatever.
Hey.
And I was actually March 15th. I was supposed to move to Nashville, and then I played a gig on March 11th, and then every gig went away on March 11th. So I like, and I was looking at like moving to Nashville, like, okay, a city that's based in live music where there's no live music, and have to be like going into someone else's house during quarantine. I was like, I'll just stay put. So
yeah,
I just decided, like, fucking pick it.
That would have been a culture shock, bro. You don't even know what to do. You can't even explore. You're just sitting in this random fucking middle of the country.
Oh, I had just at that point, no reason. Nashville's a dope city. I was really looking forward to like starting a new chapter and stuff there, but like, I'm really lucky with the community I have here. I really actually super respect everybody in New York I think New York's handled this whole thing so amazing well. I'm so proud to be like, those are the Americans I'm most proud of. Like, these motherfuckers are stuck in a kitchen that's meant to cook like rice at most, and around all these people, and like they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
All these weak ass people elsewhere like won't put on a mask and won't do this shit. I'm just like, New York, like good. So I really respect everybody that's been there, but I will say I was kind of relieved to not be living there when it was like really rough.
Yeah.
You know, so, I ultimately being here was just kind of like it was a little bit easier time for the quarantine.
Yeah. Nah, hey, I mean, at least it happened when it did, man, because a couple days later you would have been fucking, I don't even know where you would have been right now. Probably talking with a little southern twang and whatnot.
Well, I mean, I was looking forward to that. I was gonna get like a cool jacket,
a banjo.
I was ready to go, man. I was gonna be the only house producer in Nashville. That was gonna be my thing.
Yeah, hey, that's a pretty good gig. At least you got something. You got a whole little shtick, bro.
I was gonna be a shtick, but I'm not sure. But we'll see what happens now.
Oh shit, man. Well, hey, good luck to you, bro. But I'm looking right now. We got a couple beats. I don't know if we usually do a little feedback. And you're kind of like a step out of the realm we might be used to. So I don't know if it's something that you're interested in doing. Maybe a little feedback. We do got the Italians I was talking about before. That we do have some house music.
I'm 100% interested.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, 100%. That's a good ratio. We'll take that. And you know what? Just so that in effort to keep it short and sweet, we'll start off from the bottom. So Dad, you'll be the first ones, and then we'll end off with I think it's Demtra. No, Elevate if you're still in here. But let me know if you could hear this, boss. Let me know how well you could hear this. Putting it on now. Yeah, you can hear that good? Okay, perfect. All right, we'll start off with Dad right now. We got the man, the myth, the legend, all the way from Italy. Look at that. You see this over here too? We got the luffs over here. Shift N. Boom. Damn. Heavy. All the way from Italy. Awesome. Oh, wait. Are you muted? Did I mute myself? Oh, wait, yeah, it says you're muted. Hold on.
Oh, okay, got it.
There you go.
Am I good now? Okay, that was extremely dope.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. There's,
Okay.
yeah, there's just, it gets to a point every week you're sending in tunes that I have no feedback or criticism to, like, in a constructive way, you know? They're just fucking dope, man. They're just
Okay,
huge.
so I have I've been looking for music like this.
Let's go.
Because I tapped it in on the metronome. That's like 140.
Is it?
Like that's, I mean, it seemed. Can you put it back on again for a second?
Yeah. Ready?
Like 140.
1/4. Jesus, man. All right.
So here's the thing. So like whenever I played any, because I've done a bunch of sets that are adjacent to or even like I keep a bunch of bass music ready to go. It's like important for me. Like I find like a lot of stuff that like works for me, but I find that the 4 on the floor shit for the people that are there to see bass music will like they'll be like, oh no, they're a little afraid of it to go like vulgar or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like this seems to like really thread that needle, like, but it's like, 138, 142, right?
Ooh.
So it's like in this like side trance zone. So like that's the kind of shit that I could spin with. I feel like that could like live with bass music very easily. Part of it is that kick is killing. The sound design on that kick is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like got that snap and it's like the really quick attack and it punches through the whole fucking song just like right in the mix. There's also that technique that I've been trying to really get better with producing, which is on your breakdowns, like, or the build-ups, breakdown, drops, whatever, when they come out, instead of going like it actually comes down. Like it like strips away a bunch of stuff after the breakdown, which I think is sort of like, I've come to think that is much more rewarding. You know what I mean? Because then like it gets intense and then things come in, but it's like less, and then even like the hats have come in like another 16 bars later or something like that. And it was just like, it was very rewarding to listen to. Like the whole sound design on the whole track is super dope. Kick is so, what are you using for that kick, man? If you're here, like, what is that, just like a sample or is that like synthesis? Because that was like, that kick is ridiculous.
Yeah, it just cuts through, man. It cuts through so well that it's just the whole rest of the song being around it is perfect, man. It's fucking
like
awesome.
60% of the mix, and it's extremely dope. I didn't like, it was like perfect. It was exactly like it's punching through, like exactly how you like need it. So I guess is that? I mean, this is where I get fucked up with genres or whatever. Is that like in the psytrance like zone? Is that like where that like, is that in that world or like?
Is it dependent on BPM, honestly? Because it kind of gave me of a psytrance vibe too, you know. But a couple of his other songs have been like that as well. But like, I don't know, it felt more like housey, you know. Well, it felt like an Italian thing.
Kick 2, yeah, exactly. He says Nicky Romero Kick 2, which I have. But like, man, it is fucking dope. I mean, I guess, you know, I never want to shit on any genre because there's always like, I've always hear something. A lot of psytrance for me, it just is like too much for my brain.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, but like that felt more like just a fast house track, but you could put that in with like in bass music at 140 and it would make sense. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like that. And yeah, the sound design, arrangement, everything, mood, totally and clean. Everything was so clean. So fucking bravo. That's an Italian say, right?
Magnifico.
Yeah, a lot of good hand gestures. Beautiful, man. That was great.
No, hell yeah, man. It sat so well with the mix. The mix was just, it's just, I love that kind of, that kick, man. It really, it punches you right in the gut, and it makes you listen. You're like, oh shit, and those vocals too, fire.
Yeah. I turn up my monitors here, and they're front ported. You know what I mean? Like, so that it's got the ports on the front, and it was like hit me. Like,
Yo, that's perfect, man. I love that shit, bro. That's what we're here for. I feel like that's the like you said in what was it, Ghana?
Ghana, yeah, it's a country. Yeah, the country that was.
Yeah, and they just like drumming. It's like a tribal thing. I feel like that's kind of where what some of this music is. Like tribal is a good word to call.
That rhythm is like very typically African rhythm where you dagat. So that's where the kick is like dagat. Like one of the breakdowns is just dagat.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I can't get enough of that.
For real. All you need is a good kick to dance. Honestly, that's it. Sometimes.
Yeah, I know, and that's when your track sucks. You're like, oh yeah, my kick. My kick.
I couldn't even get the kick right. Fuck.
Yo, did you see it happen to be on my Instagram? I bought that old Akai sampler.
No, what'd you get?
This might screw up your whole.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
That is but yeah, right here is this vintage S9. I'm having a hard time getting the.
What is it? What do you put in there, bro? Cassettes? The fuck?
Fucking floppy disk, dude.
Floppy disks. He's putting samples on.
Yeah, I ordered all these floppies from like back in the day, like.
Oh
like
my god.
These guys you just like fucking all these. This one, I don't know who made all this stuff, and I'm making my own samples too, but I have like all these like 90s samples and shit. But yeah, that's what I've been.
Wow. When's the last time anyone's seen a floppy disk, dude?
Yeah, in the comments I'd be interested, but
Bro.
yeah, what's cool about it is it's a 12-bit sampler, 12-bit sampler, with and you can set because like at full the full sample rate you get like 3 seconds of sampling on a disc. So like you keep lowering the samples all you can get, but it gets like all crunchy and fucked up. So like if you ever want me to like protest some of your kicks, like because they come out so sick and punchy and crunchy, it's like really
shit. Damn, yeah, I never even thought about that shit. That's crazy, man. Like
yeah, that's the original house vibes. Was just old like these 12-bit samplers, and you know how it is like when like making your own samples is that's what I love that series. You used to do that weird sounds from the weird world or whatever. Yeah, I love that shit. That was so good.
Thank you.
But you know when you make a sample, like when you put effort into it, you care about it more. You know what I mean? Because it's like, especially when you go through and I have to like go through these old windows and like just get it like just right. So like when I'm done doing it, I'm like, I love that sample.
That's
like,
true.
like,
Oh shit.
Like it's like my little baby. You know what I mean?
For
like,
real. Yeah, no, that's like crazy though, because now we don't even think about it. It's just so disposable. Like even when I'm producing, I'm dragging and dropping samples and stuff. I feel like if I've sculpted this one sample, I'd be like, nah, this is my baby right here. This is my kick, and that's my only kick.
Yeah.
So are you loading stuff onto that or what? Or do you just had to get old floppy disks?
I've recorded my own samples on it. Yeah, like you plug it right in the front. You just be like I just route it straight from my patch bay, or like I plugged in my phone. You know, like I have like apps on my phone or whatever, and or I have this thing which I did actually a whole series of. You guys fuck with these?
Yeah.
Pocket operators.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I'll just like plug these in and like sample these and get them like super crunchy sounding or whatever. Or I have like my fake the boutique Roland, you know those things where they're like the like I have the version of like these fucking things. Take up all the cables. Oh my god.
This man's got so much gear.
I have a lot of gear, but I have like one of these.
Shit. What's that one called? Oh, TRO8? Oh no. Never heard of it.
It's 9, yeah. It's like it's the 909.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure somebody has a real one. They're like, go home with that toy, you know. Sorry, am I keeping you from another track?
Oh no, bro. This is fucking interesting as shit, bro. Come on, man. I want to see your gear too, man. I geek out over gear all the time.
Shit, I can do the whole fucking.
You got the whole thing.
I can try. I'm gonna probably lose because I'm hooked up to my interface, but I'll try to see if I can do the whole the whole thing here. How's my internet? Is it good? Are you seeing?
Yeah, you seem good. You seem fine.
Okay, so I
Yeah, look
got
at the tour.
yeah, I got these are my Junos. I got that is a HS60, which is like basically a Juno 106. Then I got some drum machines here.
Oh shit.
I got my decks, my CDJs or XDJs, whatever. And then over here, we got Prophet Rev 2. Got two of the Behringer synths. I'm trying to get the angles right here. I'm fucking up. I got some Electron stuff. Got an old Nordlead 2. And yeah, and then I showed you my old vintage gear. I actually just got this as well, which is the micro modular, which is like where you build your modular synths virtually. It's from like 1997.
What?
And you build a modular synth inside on it, like in a computer. I think it's the fucking dopest sounding synth digital synth I've ever had.
Yeah, so you just like, do they give you gear for that kind of thing, or like, how do you make your own fucking VST? What the hell?
Not like it's they just give you the modules and then you patch everything together virtually. But this is back in like '90s, so and it's pretty obsolete because you pretty much had to have like a vintage computer to run it, and then somebody just rewrote the software for like the modern Mac stuff. So that's when I was like, I'm fucking buying it, because I had one back in the day and I sold it and I always regretted it. But I mean, I just spend, and it's just like on a real modular that you just spend all day, and all of a sudden the same thing. Like maybe it's the same thing as having like just a regular synth, and then but like because you made it, like you love it. Like,
Yeah.
you care about it.
And no one else has it, pretty much, you know.
Nobody else has it. It's only you have it. So it's very specific to that.
So have you like gotten new gear and worked on new things and brought that back to like band practice and maybe used and kind of made them implement your new gear, or has it worked like that, or?
No, I mean, what did happen at one point was like every time we make a record, there's like some song that has like some piece of gear that was in a studio, and then we're like, well, now we need something to do that. So I have the rig that I have live. Like it's funny. Like I don't have any of my Turkuaz gear with me. It's all still in the trailer. Like, so I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any of it. It's all just there. Hope it's okay. It's probably really hot, in a trailer.
That's tough.
So, but I also try to keep my studio gear completely separate from my live gear, because when I come back from the road, I don't want to hook up any cables. I don't want, because it's like anything that's a hindrance to your creativity. I think because it's like we're all kind of lazy when it comes to that. Like
Definitely.
you want shit to be just like ready to go,
Yeah.
So over the years I've tried to build up a whole thing that's separate from my live stuff, and then I have I have a pretty capable, versatile setup on the road, which is like I can pretty much more or less get every sound that I'm gonna need.
Okay.
And I have a Moog Sub 37, Nordlead 4, which I might be replacing. It's pretty cool, but I don't love it. And then like a Nord Electro, and then I have my guitar shit, like a lot of pedals and amps and stuff.
Oh, because you were the one that told me about the Behringer series and stuff, and then I started noticing you doing like more synthy stuff on stage, even with like the jams. I was like, is he?
Oh yeah.
Is that the Behringer, or what is that up there? Moog or something? Like, yeah, it started to get a little bit more you leaning towards the synth.
Sub 37 is a very, very like super versatile synth, like mono synth. Like you can do really pretty much anything that a mono synth can do. It's really great. So that's why I try to find stuff that can pretty much run, just kind of cover all the bases,
Yeah.
Between me and Chris Brower's, he does a lot. He does a lot of the organ stuff, and he runs his Nord Electro through like a real Leslie, and all that stuff. Try to have like some authenticity. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Now
Because
you
we
guys.
can't.
Sorry.
At some point, like you can't have all vintage instruments. You know what I mean? Like you have to make something easy on yourself.
Yeah.
So we try to like just.
Oh.
I run like the clavinet sound, like I do a fake clavinet and I run it through an amp to make it sound like a real clav or whatever.
Shit.
But there you go. There's Gear Corner.
Damn.
I'm sure we just alienated half your audience, but
Hey, no, that was fire. I think a lot of them are actually. I noticed some other people talking that weren't talking before too. So I know we got some older heads in here. Even people who submitted the tunes, they're like more on the techie side of things today, and less of like I'm seeing Elevate and stuff. It's more of the vibes. He sings, plays guitar, all that kind of stuff. So, you're bringing out a little different side of the people. So I like it. I appreciate it, man. But hey, you want to get to the next one?
the next track.
All right, we got Gladi up next. Let's go.
The word.
Nah, it's not two. You guys tripped me out. Sorry. Yeah, they tripped me out. There was they were asking if it was two, so I had to rewind it real quick, stop it, pause it, and just make sure there wasn't two things going on. But nah. Honestly, it didn't. That's why I don't know. It was coming in. It was coming in good with me, so I didn't know. I don't know. Is Gladi, are you in here? Did it sound like there was two things going on right now? Because I thought you blended a couple different things in the song pretty nicely. Honestly, the girl's vocals, that fucking high pitched synth, and just the bass sounds. I think I had a tab open. They may forget to mute reference. No, but the only thing, this was open, and they don't play at the same time. If you have two ones open, they don't play at the same time. So I don't know what that could have been. But did I? My bad if I did. Okay, well, we'll link your shit in chat right now. But yo, Craig, it says you're muted. But
Oh, yeah, I do that during the performance.
oh, okay,
right?
yeah. I was just making sure. You didn't. I forget all the time. I do that too, and then forget, and I'll start talking, and then they'll be like, "Hey, you're muted, bud." But I forgot. You're an expert at this kind of thing. You're an audio engineer expert over here. Forgot who I'm talking to.
That I don't know about.
I can confirm. All right, I'll swear by him. Okay, but we got motherfucking Dem Check up next, and then Elevate. So let's go. Dem Check. Which one you want? One says 7 years ago. It says this is the only house type music I've actually uploaded, or we got this one. What you want to pick, Craig?
Me?
Number 1 or number 2?
I guess I want to hear the house stuff. I guess let's check
All
it
right.
out.
We'll go 7 years ago, 2013, baby. Let's go.
Let's go back in time. Those are great times.
Back in the time. We were almost when the music was making money. Almost back to when music was making money. All right. So we got Dem Check over here.
Oh, wait, he says not the 7.
What do you say?
He says not the 7 years ago one. Okay.
That's gonna take stuff. Just because he said no. All right. I don't want to put him through too much, man. It's 7 years ago. I listened to anything from 7 years ago, especially my house stuff. I was like, what's going on? But hey, man, now let's see the progression, bro. Let's see the fucking progression of what just happened, all right? Because that was a lot going on. There was a lot. There were some fly noises and stuff. Okay, wait. I opened up 2 of the same ones. Jesus Christ. Okay, here we go. Dem Check. Let's see the fucking progression amongst us. Singing bowl. Oh, wait, you're still on mute? change your tune, but no, there's not another song playing. Oh shit, there is another. Guys, you know what? I'm so sorry. There was another song playing. It was these fucking lasers. It was these lasers. They had a song playing. I botched that one up, guys. I botched that one up. So when you were saying there's another song playing, you were 100% right. I'm supposed to be a fucking audio engineer over here. I don't know my ass from my elbow.
This is complicated stuff, actually.
Complicated.
Okay. But hold on, before we go back to it, that song's dirty.
That song was dirty. From what we were just hearing the clean version, me and him. You guys must have been hearing some other bullshit.
I was hearing, if it makes you feel any better, I was hearing the cool shit. Now, I have my phone pulled up now. I'm watching the whole thing now.
Oh man, so you should have given us a heads up that it sounded like poop on that end, because
I muted it because when I saw that, I actually turned it down on my computer and I listened on my phone. I was like, oh yeah, that's fucked up.
Damn. Fuck.
Okay,
all right.
We'll jump back in.
Yeah, we'll jump back in. Hey, well, I'm sorry for fucking botching up that shit. It's these lasers, man. I got these new lasers and they came with that corny ass song, dude. See what happens?
They look great. They sound like shit.
Oh man, fuck them. There we go. Now they're off. Bam, 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 bam. Cycle through lasers. Not if they're messing up the song though. Okay, back to the song. Yeah, 7 years. Shout out. Okay, we'll start from that. We'll start from that middle. I think that's where we transitioned. I love the outro. Love the outro too, man. And that but I'm excited with the vocals, honestly. I was really gonna be like, oh, maybe, it's asking for some sort of rap acapella over it on a live show or something, or some sort of vocals over it during the live show. But now it says without vocals, so I'm wondering what you took out. Man, I'd love to hear it with the vocals too, because the idea's there, bro. The tune's a banger. It's heat.
It's just dope. I like, what is that like? It's like some feedback at the end. I dig that. It's not that sample at the end. Maybe it's just like grabbed cool like reversed or something, but it sounds like what you get like guitar feedback. That's the shit. But whole thing's dirty. It's like grimy. It reminds me. It sounds like fucking British. The British shit.
The British shit.
Yeah. Sounds like those really like angry, like kind of depressed like British people who make the best fucking bass music ever. So,
dude. Yeah, for real. And I think that end he's saying it's singing bowls. Oh, holy shit, bro. That's even cooler.
Yeah.
Oh, for real.
Akon. Okay, I see.
That was dope. 2 hours ago, brand new tune. I like that, dude. It's got that deep, dark, dangerous vibe. That's fucking awesome. I'd love to hear it with the vocals too, man. Because if that's the thing that you think is tying the whole tune together, then bro, I'm hyped because the idea's there. Fucking tune's ready. The master looks good too. What did he hit on the lufts? What the fuck did it hit on these lufts? 15.6. I don't know. Actually, I gotta reset this. I don't know how to reset it right now. But hey, I digress. We're getting too techy.
I'm loving that drum loop in that tune too. Just real, like very natural sounding drums. I don't know what it is, but it sounds really good, like really, really good.
Yeah,
really
no,
crispy and natural sounding. It's nice.
Damn check. The drums, man. In the 7 years, if anything, those drums got fucking fat. Those drums got nice and tight.
I actually really like listening to that little time lapse there. That was pretty good. You know? Makes me want to go. You know, every once in a while, like for fun, like when I'm feeling like really discouraged, I'll just like take the guitar and just like flip it like this.
Oh, really?
Try to play just because I can't, like I really can't play, you know. But I can totally play guitar, and I even like intellectually know everything about the guitar.
Yeah.
You know, well, not everything, but I know like the strings and the notes and all that. And then I play like even though I know everything, like it's like day one.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
So are you gonna whip out a left-handed guitar one day, or is this just to keep interested?
No, that's literally just to keep me from getting super discouraged. So yeah, don't forget how far you come, everybody.
Oh shit, that's a good perspective, honestly. Then I thought it was just to keep you entertained, but it's to see how fucking, I guess, you can't really do that with production, can you? You can't really like just.
If somebody digs into your SoundCloud from 7 years ago and plays it.
I guess so. That's true. Damn. Yeah, that's what I got to start doing. That shot to my ego. See what's up.
Yeah, it's good.
Be like, get on it. Get back on it, you douche. Yeah. But all right, we got two more. We got Elevate, motherfucking. Look at this waveform too. Can we just say looking thick? All right. So I'm excited to see what you got for us this week, Mr. Elevate. Woo. Woo. Damn. Elevate. Fucking heater. Jesus. Elevate.
Yeah, I'm putting that in my set fucking right now.
Yo, I love to hear it, bro. Cause oh, why isn't my fucking oh, there we go. That's Elevate, who's a frequent. He's a frequent on the fucking beat and greet, and it seems like every single person that he that comes through, it's almost like a catered selection that he gives to, you know, like when someone from the bass scene comes through, it'll be a little bit more of a bassy tune. Someone more of little vibies. He heard, I guess you make some house music. I got some house music. Fuck it. So
Yeah.
5 days ago, Elevate Music.
It's nice. And it was cool. Like it went a bunch of different places, which is like, and not that much time, but it didn't seem like it all connected, and it was all like very, very organic and flowing. But it definitely had a few different looks at the groove, like during that period of time. Like, fucking really good, really good.
Yeah, that especially that last little part right here, it went into like that trappy hip hop kind of part, you know, and I was like, okay, that like I loved the arpeggiated or descending, whatever that was. Doot 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 doot.
Yeah, like 808s, but like not like not annoying. Like they were sick.
Yeah, they fit right in. Fit right in. I could see that, you know, being a fucking hip hop tune or some house tune, some club banger. It fits the mold of a lot of good shit, man. Appreciate you, Elevate.
Yeah, send me that. I want to get that one. That's good.
I got you with that. Usually he's in here. I don't know. He was talking before too, so I don't know where he went for that 1 second we got his song, but I'll definitely send that over because that's the homie. He fucking makes some dope ass tunes, and to be honest, he sends some stuff from 7 years ago, and it's like it doesn't show his like production. It's not like he sucked back then. It was just a different vibe, you know. So it's nice to see the progression in different things, and when you hear somebody who's not iffy right off the bat, you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Let's go with this guy, you know? Because it took me like 4 years of making weird kind of music to people could hardly stomach, you know? But now we're here, I guess. Now we're here. So, all right, we got, it's actually two more. Someone, JTB, who's been in here. I know you're in here. Fungus Among Us. Slip one in here. And then there's Dr. G. If you're cool with these last two. We'll start off with Flopper then. definitely 8-bit vibes for sure. Sound like you could be using some stuff like the pocket operator, you know, like Dr. G. You definitely got that 8-bit kind of vibe. So it fits the aesthetic, you know. But if I had some words of advice, I would say maybe that kick drum, you know, like if to have just a reference, maybe, I know it's two different types of music, but A-Dad, bro. A-Dad had that crazy kick that he mentioned actually how he got to. And it could just be in terms of like letting the kick be more on the low end. You know, carve out some of the highs maybe and let the high ends be from the synth and stuff like that. But dope tune, man. It's definitely your style. I'm waiting to hear some vocals over that too, bro. I'm sure you got some of those cooking. But Craig, you want to say anything about it?
Yeah, man. I like the. It also sounded like maybe it could be like an old like transistor organ or something. Like it had that vibe to it a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Like that. It sounded like it could be all like old. Yeah. Sorry. Hold on one sec.
Yeah.
It sounded like it could be like one of those old like the ones you find in your grandma's house, you know, that like it's like nice and buzzy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a cool sound, and yeah, like the kick. Yeah, same thing. I hear like it was strong in the mix. It's taking up, you know, like it was definitely like, but like kind of like a hip hop kind of vibe, which was cool. But there's one chord because it was like right. It was like that's, and you had one chord in there that was that diminished chord. You want that to kind of it went back down to like to here. And then you could actually use you could turn that, it's like a 7th diminished chord, but you could like make that more of like a 5 chord or something like that. It might resolve. That would be my piece of advice. Is like find a different bass note that have better motion to that other chord. But yeah, that's my only music-y theory thing.
Damn. Technical. No, hell yeah. That was that might have hit the note right on the head, man. If he could go back and fix it, I don't know if it's like an arpeggio that you played or if it's MIDI notes that you could mess with, but yo, that's
because there's this thing with so if you're doing like the major scale, right? So like so I think we're in C.
Yeah.
And that's a 7th diminished. The cool that 7th diminished, you put a G on it, you know what I mean? Then you get that kind of sound. And then if you went back down to, I think it was an F chord that you went to, so it'd just be smoother motion.
Ooh.
So,
damn. This man whipped out the fucking axe to help you out on a scale. That's crazy. Damn. No, that's fix that shit right up, bro. Something I definitely I just like, EQ the kick.
no. Oh, it's all there. It's just like that because that's a nice. Like I really like that sound, that like diminished kind of sound. Because it's also if you're playing in C major, if you're grouping them together, it's like C E G and then B D F. Like that's like that chord, so it's right there. But sometimes it's not. It's a little too close, and like the motion doesn't seem right if you just go straight to it.
Yeah.
If you change the bass note, it gives it. It's like the difference between like and this. You know. Same notes, just different order in it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit, yeah. Hey.
So,
damn.
That's it. That's all I got.
Dude. Nah, that was $1 million advice right there. All right. Last but not least, JTB over here, Mr. Fungus Among Us. Let's get into it. Did it just end like that? Wow, it just ended like that, like a tease. Oh man, look, it just just as we were vibing with it. Oh, like that even, it's not even like on a snare or anything. It's just like it just ends. I love it, dude.
So I've never heard that expression before. Whip.
Oh yeah, work in progress, baby.
Work in progress. I get it.
Come on, Turkuaz got the whips. Oh, that was okay. I don't know why that queued up, but yeah, I like the vibes, man. There's definitely maybe some you could change up the arpeggio a little bit, maybe in speed or whatever that synth is. But dude, other than that, I thought it was pretty dope tune.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the high end, all the high end percussion stuff. The high end energy is nice. Like it's like I don't know if it's tambourine. It sounds like tambourine vibe, but it's nice and it reminds me a little bit of Telephone Tel Aviv.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, kind of give you that kind of early 2000s vibes. I like it.
Yeah. No, that's dope, man. And I was just saying for future, if obviously the song's not done too, so I mean if you're gonna keep going with it, maybe it'd be a 3-4 minute song, maybe just even use some of the same elements in there. You could just switch them up, and because yeah, everything's there, like the song sounds, the kick, I like that kick. It fits really nicely in the whole mix. It's pretty much just like the bass and maybe a little bit, maybe 100 frequency to a 200 frequency range. It fits really nicely in there, and maybe that's something that Dr. G, you could just just to have the kick occupy around there, and I think it would make your tune fucking perfect too, man. Sometimes just those little things like frequency range or some shit, but this one's, I like it. Dope shit. But yeah, man, you wanna
The screen's on me and I was just listening. It's like gotta do something. Double thumbs up.
Yeah. Hey, now, well, the tunes tonight all have been driving us to the smoke box, so that's not a bad thing. Or the jacuzzi. We could all use a nice little soak sometimes.
I could use a soak.
But, yeah, man. We just got a tornado. Maybe we could have just stayed outside and soaked.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, actually, but it was like all wind and no rain where I was.
Oh, shit. A couple of our steadies from Connecticut have still no power from yesterday.
Yeah, I'm actually really lucky. A bunch of people, like in my whole area, a gigantic tree went down right in front of our house. Actually, like enormous. Like, and so I was really lucky. I moved my car, like I knew it was gonna be crazy, so I moved it like down the street, and like it would have been absolutely crushed. So
damn, shit, we can't afford that right now, bro. Could hardly afford a doctor's checkup.
I can't afford anything.
Ramen out here, man. But you got plans to do the Twitch show in the future? You doing that? Is it weekly, bi-weekly?
Yeah, I started doing it pretty much every other Wednesday. Now I've been kind of being a little more erratic about it, not on purpose. Just kind of my things have been changing. So I'm, a couple of them, I'm like, whatever. I'm going on an hour, which is stupid. But I don't have any plan right now. But actually, fuck it. I'm gonna do one, and I'm gonna do one following your show next week.
Next week, okay. All right. So when do you So next Wednesday, next Friday. What are you thinking?
Next Wednesday.
All right, we'll set up the raid right now. I'll schedule it in.
Yeah, I'll schedule it. So right when you finish, I'll jump on and I'll just do a whole long set of house music.
Oh, all right, dude. All right, easy enough, man. We know who we're gonna raid, dude. We do this every week, and we're like, at the end, I'm like, who the fuck should we go for? I don't know. Yeah, and now we know. We got motherfucking DJ Yes Man.
All right. Dude, thank you for having me on, man. This is awesome.
Yo, it's been my pleasure. Seriously, I was gonna ask if you want to end off on anything, but you've blessed us with some wisdom, some Quaz lore, as they say. And yeah, man, I appreciate you taking your time and being here.
I appreciate you, man. You're really good at this. Like, you're really good at this, and I really respect that you are clearly, maintaining the community you already had and building some new stuff. And this is a really good opportunity to keep everybody together. To and also getting everybody being interactive, getting people to play their music and stuff. It's a really cool thing you're doing. So I appreciate it, and I really appreciate you having me on. And I feel like we actually had a real conversation, and I appreciate that.
Yo, of course, man. Honestly, that's we do this sometimes, after the shows and whatnot. So it's nice to actually get a long haul talk with you about the music industry, fucking all the bullshit, and the feedback was on point too, man. So I'm looking forward to the set. Looking forward to catching another whenever you guys are back. The whole band back in swing.
Man, so, I miss you, man. So it was great to see you. Let's find a way to keep chilling in some way, shape, or form.
Definitely, man, definitely. And you guys all have his links right here. Go follow him on Twitch, DJ Yes Man as well. So hey, man, thank you again. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
All right, dog. Be well.
Good job. All right, you too.
All right, man. All right, boss. Peace. I'm gonna end off the show. Okay. And here we are. All right. You heard him. He's gonna set up a raid for next week. So we don't even gotta look into who we're gonna raid. And everybody go follow him, so that in case he does something in the meantime, you can keep up with it. All right. It's been a pleasure. Dude's been a big music influence of mine for a while. The whole squad of Quaz has been, and it's just really dope to get to talk to some people like this. So thank you all. Thanks everyone for submitting their tunes, and thank you, Craig. Love you guys. Do we raid somebody or what? Because this is the problem. If I can't find anybody on my channel, we ain't raiding nobody. All right, I got somebody. All right, here we go. Bada bing, bada boom.